and they all seem to come at once.
Well, he's such a great worker, and then the fact that he will unselfishly.
Wheeling Civic Center in Wheeling, West Virginia. Tonight, the East Coast Hockey League Network is proud to bring you Game 1 of the Riley Cup Championship between the Wheeling Thunderbirds and the Toledo Storm. Now, here to call tonight's game, Bill Phillips and Joel Stern.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Wheeling Civic Center, which tonight has been transformed into the Thunderdome for the Riley Cup Finals between the Toledo Storm and the Wheeling Thunderbirds. There you have it, Wheeling Thunderbirds and Toledo Storm, game number 1 of the ECHL Finals. I'm Bill Phillips, along with the voice of the Thunderbirds, Joel Stern, getting ready to bring you live coverage of game number 1. Want to welcome everyone back in Toledo watching on TV5. Welcome aboard. We are ready for a big game between the best two teams in the league, Joel. They finished that way in terms of the points, and it's nice to see the playoffs end this way with the two top teams in the ECHL.
It's only fitting it would turn out that way. Toledo with the best offense, only by a couple of goals, though. Wheeling second. Thunderbirds with the best defense, I believe Toledo third. So it's going to be a battle of goaltending and who can play strong in net for both teams. Also the power play and penalty killing.
Now, goaltending tonight, a big question. Francis Ouellette or Rod Houk, who will get the start? It really doesn't matter. They've both been outstanding. It will be Francis Ouellette, and Scott King will go for the Storm. Two of the best goaltenders in the league. What do we look for from Scott King?
Well, Scott King had the most wins in the East Coast Hockey League this year, 26. He's been to the show. The NHL played 2 games with Detroit. He knows what it takes to win, and he has to come up big. Chris McSorley, their head coach, says he really doesn't have a number 1 goaltender right now. It could be one guy or the other, depending on how they play.
Same situation with the Wheeling Thunderbirds. Now, some of the guys that the Storm have to look out for, I would say probably the number 1 guy would be Ian Duncan.
Ian Duncan played in the NHL with the Winnipeg Jets, about 60 games. So how much better experience can you have, especially at this level? He knows where to put the puck. Excellent player around the net, leading all playoff scorers.
Now, in the Raleigh series, the T-Birds really in a skating series between the Ice Caps and the Thunderbirds. This one with the Storm, a team that just took out Nashville, who put up a good fight. But this one should, I would imagine, be a little more physical and still have some great skating.
A lot more physical. Guys like Deasley, 6'4", 240. You have Dan Weeb, a big, strong, tough guy, can score and skate also. So the Thunderbirds are going to have to be aware of a hard-hitting series this time.
It looks to set up as a great series between the Thunderbirds and the Storm. And if you had to make a prediction as to how long this one may go, what would you have? If you looked into your crystal ball right now, what do you think in terms of this series, how it may go?
I would say no less than 6, probably 7.
You think it's going to go 7 games? So how much does the home ice advantage play into this one?
I think if Toledo can win 1 game out of these 2, they're going to be in very good shape. I think the Thunderbirds have to win 2 here in order to avoid some bad situations in Toledo.
Well, not real optimistic views from Mr. Stern, but optimistic in that it'll be a great series. I'll be back along with Joel to bring you the dropping of the puck in the start of game number 1 right after this.
Here are 3 things very important when you're looking for an apartment at Piccadilly East.
So that's what happened. So just keep at it.
North Carolina police continue to investigate the shocking on-set death of action star Brandon Lee, killed while filming a scene from The Crow by a .44 caliber bullet. And the Panama Deception, winner for Best Documentary at the Academy Awards, is starting to make its way around the country in theaters perhaps near you. And its director, Barbara Trent, says it's an important film for Americans to see.
We have an obligation to continue.
But we have to pause for our...
is a peek back at the Old West, a piece of the American...
Customer, he's worried that Bill Clinton's health care reform plan.
Seeing games anyway. Darren Schwartz, the captain. Well, the referee tonight is Joe Ernst, linesman Sam Gowan, and Norm Eberle. As he straddles the red line, Devin Edgerton will face off against Alex Hicks, and we're underway. Virtue, Roberts on defense for Wheeling, Kuwabera. Edgerton, Schwartz up front for the Thunderbirds as they send in. And now chasing it down for the Toledo Storm is Derek Booth. He has some problems, knocked down behind the cage by Schwartz. It's sent around to the near side, and Duncan will send. It goes all the way down, and skating after it is Terry Virtue, and they say no icing. Now Darren Schwartz upended, but the puck is brought back to center by Edgerton. Right side pass. Kuwabera tipped away from him by Suey. Kuwabera tries to center it. It rolls behind the cage and cleared around to the near side by Toledo. They skate from left to right. And now a pass to center that eludes Potomski. He tries to chase down, and he does. In the left wing corner, right side of Frank Willett. No score as we have about 15 seconds. Stick by Edgerton across the line. Edgerton splits to the defense, goes and shoots, he scores! Devin Edgerton gets the Thunderbirds a 1-0 lead. Devin Edgerton, the Thunderbirds' leading scorer this season. Bill Phillips, that is the start any team would want in the playoffs.
You cannot get a better start than that. You are facing the top goaltender statistically in the ECHL in terms of wins this year. You need to get out in front early, test them, get that breaking goal, and here's Edgerton. Splits the defense and a quick little wrister to the stick side. King had no chance, and Devin Edgerton continues to play outstanding hockey. Has notched points in his last 4 games. He has 10 points overall, and he had 3 points in a 5-3 win just a little while ago. So Devin Edgerton continues to play solid hockey.
So the Thunderbirds leading 1-0 off the faceoff. They send right back in. The crowd obviously going bananas, and now it is played by Wade Bartley. Played around to the far side, and Toledo sends out, sent right back in by John Uniacke, but offside is called against Wheeling, stopping play. So Devin Edgerton, with his 117 points this season, setting a new team regular season record. Edgerton, Bill, he started off the playoffs real slow, had that knee injury, suffered in Peoria, but is starting to pick up steam.
He's gotten stronger with every game so far during the course of the playoffs. When they opened up against Johnstown, everyone was wondering how the knee would respond. It is very, very strong right now, and he continues to get better as we go along.
So the face-off just outside the Toledo blue line, controlled by Wheeling. It is backhanded in by Tom Dion, and played behind the cage by Scott Campbell. A surprise starter tonight. We'll give you the scratches as soon as we can. Here's Campbell as he picks up the puck at his own line. Thunderbirds leading 1-0 goal by Edgerton. And now play sent inside the Wheeling territory. Skating it down is Joel Blaine, defensive winger, as he is hit by Flanagan. Work free left point as Campbell sends back in deep. Chasing down is Weed. And with the near side, flips back into the corner. Jablonski as he throws back to the point. Campbell, a toss in front, a stop down low by goaltender Francois Willett, and he holds on.
Good save by Francis, and really that puck just hit him. Yeah, I don't think he saw it until the very last moment. If you watch, he came up and almost flinched when the puck came in. He wasn't ready for it, took it right in the chest, and then covered up. As we take a look at it again here, the shot comes in. Tom Dion in front, along with a member of the Storm, blocking Francis. He goes down and makes the save, so he gets that first save out of the way on the first shot by the Storm. Look at the Thunderbird bench with head coach Doug Sauter.
Francis Willett has won his last 2 starts. Face off to his right side, Marty Uchuk taking the draw against Jeff Jablonski. So the linesman drops it. We're underway as Toledo keeps it. Here's a shot left side. A stop by Willett. Rebound try by Jablonski is wide. It goes all the way back inside the Storm zone. It rolls on in, and Scott King is out to play it. Thunderbirds leading 1-0 if you've just tuned in. A goal by Devin Edgerton. As Flanagan, the outlet near boards. And Toledo moves to center. A pass left wing stolen there by Sen. His pass intended for Lafayette goes all the way down across the goal line. Lafayette chases down as the puck now kept alive by Legault. He shoots, and it's just wide and sent back to the neutral zone. Tim Roberts flips it right back in, but offside is called. Stopping play. Well, we want to say hello to TV5, Toledo Vision, and welcome aboard the East Coast Hockey League Network. Scott Campbell playing tonight, giving you the scratches for Toledo. Bruce McDonald, he has a sore knee. Defenseman Alex Roberts. And for the Thunderbirds, Mark Rogers and Brent Pope. So the face-off at center as Edgerton wins that. It's Dion and Virtue on defense for Wheeling. And the Thunderbirds top line out there. Edgerton, a drop for Dion. Now to Schwartz, a backhand pass in front is knocked away by Duncan and cleared by Toledo to the neutral zone. It is sent right back in, though, by Tom Dion. He was a plus 35 this year. As Duncan near side gave it away to Kuwabera, but he gets it right back. And comes to center and sends in, takes a hop right to Ouellette. He whacks it around to the near side for Schwartz. He is bumped by Hicks. Schwartz picks it up, though. Wheeling looking to clear out, and they do. Kuwabera to Edgerton. Across the line, a return for Kuwabera. Intercepted nicely there. Corvo takes Edgerton out of the play behind the cage. He comes in front, kicked away by King. So far, the T-Birds have had the edge in play. 16:40 left to go in the first. Edgerton at the near side in the corner. Now to Kuwabera. 5 goals in the playoffs, pinned by Suey. As they try to kick it free, they do. Edgerton steals, he puts it back, top of the left circle, and nobody there for Wheeling, and cleared by Potomski. So the fans now chanting, "Let's go Birds," as Toledo makes a line change. Dion to Edgerton, and he flips to the Toledo blue line, intercepted there by Bartley. Wade Bartley played for the Hampton Roads Admirals last year, knows what it takes to win a Riley Cup, and now play stop at the near side. So 16-12 left to go in period number 1. And Wheeling leading 1-0 on the Thunderbirds and East Coast Hockey League Network.
At your 5 Metro Toledo Ford dealers, quality really is...
Producer do? Well, some just assemble the elements every motion picture needs. Script, stars, director.
Who invite you to go with the spirit of 76. Alvin Robertson's first foul. I'll keep you up to date on Charlotte at Philly, Orlando at Minnesota, and Chicago at Atlanta.
Atlanta has beaten the Bulls twice already this season. Once in the stadium, once in Atlanta.
Vilnavi came through the no-look hook, and he hits it with 4. In the scorebook, it's 7-4 Celtics. Joe D all by himself. Lewis got there late. Joe D gets some string music. You heard him rip the net. Here's Abdelnabi on a run out the other way. Guy Chris Ford loves to get all over the floor with hustle right now.
There's that transition defense. You don't want to give up easy scores. You score a basket, you got to get back, stop the basket.
By King. And Scott King, the top winning goaltender in the East Coast Hockey League. Beasley across the line, right circle, a backhander is deflected by Blaine just wide. Antos, he's hammered by Campbell, kept in by Beasley. Now to Campbell. They work it back behind the cage, and chasing down is Pahalski. Here's Pahalski, call him the Chief. He is met by Uniac, and that allows Tisdale to break out. Roberts the center. Tim Roberts over the right wing side. Tim Roberts, he moves in deep, an angle shot, and King let that go. And now picked up at center by Beasley. So Beasley now across the right wing side. A feed in front for Bartley. Knocked down by Sen. Overskated by Pahalski as a 2-on-1 for Wheeling. Here's Sen as he feeds in front for Uchuk. It's blocked. Sen gets it back. He spun around. Crowd wants a call. Nothing doing. And Toledo survives that scare. Shot right back in by Virtue. Thunderbirds leading 1-0. As Terry Virtue pins the puck near boards, he throws behind the cage. Lafayette shot, a save, a pad save by King. An angle try from the far side by Legault is wide. And now finally gathered in by Wade Bartley. So Toledo coming to center ice. Here's a shot gloved by Ouellette. Jablonski tries to keep in, he does. Overskated by Flanagan though, and the Thunderbirds send it back to the neutral zone. Shot right back in again by Derek Booth. Here's Virtue. Looking to clear, and he is helped out by Sen to Uchuk. Uchuk across the line, a snapshot knocked away, and Uchuk forced back inside his own zone. Marty Uchuk, along with Justin Lafayette and Trevor Sen. So I call them Chuckers Checkers. They're the checking line for Wheeling. Suey behind the cage. He comes in front, a shot, a save in front. In bumper-to-bumper traffic, it's loose. Jablonski can't tee it up. He dials for it, comes up empty, and the puck sent all the way down the ice. So King flings it up ahead for Flanagan. Flanagan, one of the hardest shots in the East Coast Hockey League, as it is sent right back in by Wheeling. Edgerton, as he tries to find somebody in front, and nobody there but Corvo. Here's Corvo. Draft choice of the St. Louis Blues and Washington Capitals. Willett to the far side, kept in. Here's Corvo shooting, a save by Willett. Rebound cleared by Dion. It's kept in. Here's Booth shot, a block there by Dion. Edgerton comes back, 1-on-2 across the right wing side. As he flips in, so two nice defensive plays by Dion. And being upended now is Dion. A penalty will be called against Toledo as they touch up.
Great end-to-end action there for Thunderbirds, and Tom Dion, a great play coming down, going down on the ice to block this shot from Corvo and then Booth, and then going down the other end, and the hustle creates the penalty there.
So the Thunderbirds will have the first power play attempt tonight.
There's Dion giving up the body. You know what this championship means to all of these players. Tom Dion, this is his first professional season, and the first time he has experienced the four best of 7 series. He did play in the national championship game with BU. Here he takes the hip check. He did not have the puck, and that is the penalty. So the T-Birds on a power play for the next 2 minutes.
Tom Dion, not a spectacular player, does some little things though that don't show up in the proverbial box score. And off the faceoff, Thunderbirds control. There's Tisdale, top of the right circle, back to Edgerton. He shoots. It's tipped wide, loose at the far side, and clearing it all the way down the ice is Hicks. Thunderbirds coming into the action tonight, 19% on the power play. Here's Roberts, played on the All-Star team, now to Edgerton. Edgerton with the only goal so far. T-Birds leading 1-0. We're down to 12:47 left in the first period. As Toledo looks to do some forechecking. Shots on goal 5 for the Storm and 3 for the Thunderbirds. Santos, the center. Here's Santos, right side, Edgerton across the line. Edgerton, watched by Bartley. Now to Schwartz, on drop, Roberts. He shoots a right-hand save by King. It's loose and knocked down with Suey. He's looking for a call. It's not, though. Santos, back Edgerton, straightaway blue line, left side for Roberts. A pass to Tisdale, a quick tip is wide to the far side. Edgerton keeps in as he bodies it, tries to bank it off the far boards, but sent all the way down there by Rick Judson. So Toledo making a change there as they have Dan Wee up front. He's out there with Pahalski. Roberts across the line. Roberts' shot is blocked by Suey, and Toledo sends all the way down.
Storm doing a fine job of poke checking and bothering and harassing the T-Bird skaters when they come into the Storm zone. T-Birds really unable so far to set up a real good opportunity here on the power play. The best one early when Edgerton took the shot from the blue line.
So King cannot clear far side, kept in by Uniacke in the right wing corner. Here's Bartley, cannot control. Pahalski comes in, they call him the Chief. Kept in right point, here's a shot left side by Virtue. It's blocked by Pahalski. He didn't skate in practice today. And finally, the Toledo Storm clear back to center, down to 3 seconds on the power play, and that should about do it. So they're 6 aside as Corvo is back out. A shot is on goal, stopped there by goaltender Frank Willett. Trevor Sen losing his stick, heads off the ice. Virtue off Wheeling now at the far side, red line. He sends in 1-0 Wheeling. Goal by Edgerton, and now offside is called against the Thunderbirds, stopping play.
Trevor Sen a little shaken up, lost his stick. He went down hard on the ice at the blue line. As we take a look at the T-Bird, Thunderbirds mascot, Trevor Sen talking right now with Scott Allegrino on the bench. As we take a look at Chris McSorley and the Storm on their bench. Trevor Sen took a hard hit. The hit chip went down on top of his head, and now it's Chris McSorley all over the officials in the Toledo Storm bench talking to the referee, Ernst, tonight, Joe Ernst, and he is hot.
Well, he is one who is known for a pretty fiery temper, Chris McSorley. He was once the head coach of the Thunderbirds back in Winston-Salem in the late 80s. Face off at center between Tisdale and Hicks wins the draw. So we're midway through period number 1, and the only goal scored by Devin Edgerton as Toledo sends in. Here's Willett as he winds around to the far side. Campbell looking to keep it, he does. It's knocked down in front of Willett by Dion. Now to Blaine. He crosses the left wing side. Blaine to Dion, cutting down the chute. And he is bumped off the play nicely there by Campbell. Scott Campbell, as he has some difficulty clearing. Anto steals. He puts in front, and it's just wide. Thunderbirds racing to the puck and generally beating Toledo to it. As the Storm trying to bring in, here's Duncan.
Good skating there by Dean Antos to get back and help out defensively. And the Czechs are starting to mount up. Booth going upstairs against Blaine. Now it's Blaine and Patowski, and we've got going to have a penalty, I believe, against Joe Blaine for an elbow. And I think a lot of that was just defending himself against the Storm. The Storm coming out very strong. Campbell before gave Dion a shot early. So these two teams, we mentioned the physical play in our pregame show, and they're at both elbows. Everybody has them up high. Blaine is going to get another shot in here as they run at Blaine. That one high on Blaine's side. So really, maybe he should have let it go, but I think Joe Ernst trying to get control of this game. A lot of big physical players out there, a lot of good skaters, but I think the physicality of these two teams is really going to come to the surface in the series.
So Joe Blaine heads off, and it will be Toledo's first chance on the power play. They are on fire in the playoffs, 29% conversion. And we'll have the face-off to the right side of Frank Willett. He is 3-2 in the playoffs, 3.18 goals against average off the face-off. Storm control as Bartley keeps in. Now to Corvo at the near side, backhands it back in deep. Chasing after it is Flanagan to Deasley. Likes to park himself in front of the cage. Deasley at the far side, he picks it up. Deasley in front, he has a quick tip, a left-hand save by Willett, stopping Pahowski dead on. And Edgerton flips it back inside the Toledo zone.
T-Bird's defense breaks down there a little bit. They let Pahowski get into the slot all by himself, and he has an opportunity. Francis there with a big pad save, kicking it away.
So Bartley circling away from Schwartz inside his own territory. Comes to center ice. Bartley gets around Virtue, loses his edge. Kept in at the left side, though, as Flanagan, though, gave it right to Edgerton. Edgerton 1-on-2. He flips right side for Schwartz. His shot is knocked away nicely by Corvo. Wheeling leading 1-0. Goal by Devin Edgerton. As Edgerton looks to steal it at the Toledo line. It's picked up, though, by Deasley. He barrels his way over the right wing side, but shot down the ice by Edgerton. And the crowd giving him a nice rise there for that.
On that one stop that Francis Willett made against the Storm, that is the one save that the goaltender is really expected to make on a power play.
Here's Willett as he says, hey, I'll try to clear it. He cannot, though. Kept in his booth, shooting a right pad save by Willett and cleared down the ice by Lafayette.
Francis living on the edge as he comes out of his cage and flips it back around. He had to hustle back, but he comes up with a skate save.
Well, goaltenders just love to handle that puck. Sometimes it costs them, though. Now Corvo right side, a pass in front, a shot by Hicks is deflected. Now to the far side, Uchuk cannot clear, kept in by Weeb. Dan Weeb, right circle for Duncan. Ian Duncan, watched by Uchuk. A pass blue line for Booth. He sends in front, and it's just wide. Sent back near boards as Weeb with it. Down to 5 on the power play for Toledo. Dan Weeb now gives to Hicks. He tries to get around a broken stick. Sends back to Duncan. Blaine is back out. Here's a shot. A kick saved by goaltender. Will let it loose in front. Hicks a backhand on another save. As Toledo putting the pressure on. Weeb, a pass right through the slot. Chasing it down is Duncan. Tom Dion is the one without a stick. It's sent right back in by Toledo, so they are putting the pressure on and finally cleared all the way down. When in doubt, shoot it out, and that's what Wheeling does as it is touched up by Bartley. So 7:44 left to go in period number 1, and the Thunderbirds leading 1-0 on the East Coast Hockey League Network.
The athlete's choice, athlete's need. Whatever sport or exercise program you're in, Athlete's Needs, Northwest Ohio's largest vitamin supplement outlet, offers you a wide range of products that can put you in high gear. From amino acids, protein or carbohydrate powders to vitamin C, one-a-days, and Centrex. Athlete's Needs offers you the highest quality vitamin and supplements at savings up to 50%. Call 474-1044. Compare our products and you'll make Athlete's Needs the only choice for the athlete in you. Athlete's Needs.
And welcome back. Joel Stern with Bill Phillips here at the Wheeling Civic Center. And Bill, Toledo applying some good pressure there.
The power play very productive for the Storm. Even though they didn't come up with a goal, they put good pressure on. Francis Willett equal to the task, showing he's ready for big game number 1.
And off the face-off, here's a shot by Campbell and a save by Willett. He is seeing the puck well here in the first. Kept alive by Jablonski. Pass in the front. Potomski's shot knocked away by Roberts. Back to center ice. So play seesawing back and forth here. Wheeling came out with the advantage in the first 10 minutes. And the last 3 or 4, it has been all Toledo. Now Blaine brings in, but out for it. Right circle is King. It's loose near side. Joel Blaine is met by Flanagan, who sends it back to the neutral zone. Shot right in again by Legault. It hops away from King, but right there for it, defenseman Wade Bartley, as he slaps it in. A glove stop by Willett, and he holds on with Flanagan cruising right in front. Dave Flanagan with a tremendous shot, knows where the net is. Also, he played with Adirondack most of this season. Frank Willett.
Francis Willett, he has stopped 10 shots now. The Storm getting the better of it in the shots department, 10-4. Another player that was cruising in for the Storm there, Jeff Jablonski, really a Thunderbird killer earlier in the season. He beat Willett for a goal early on this year, but he came in and put the pressure on, and that's what made Francis Willett of the Thunderbirds cover up the puck and get the face-off in the T-Bird end.
So the face-off to the right side of Frank Willett. Edgerton against Pahalski. 1-0. Wheeling leading. Goal by Edgerton early on. Now the face control by Virtue to Lafayette. And Lafayette moves to center ice. Lafayette left side for Sen. Here's Sen. A pass in front. Poked away by King. It's loose. And picked up there by Pahalski. So Toledo now moves back to center ice. Beasley across the blue line, but he handed it right to Uniacke up for Uchuk. Marty Uchuk right side. A drop for Sen. Trevor Sen. He tries to get around Booth. He cannot. And the puck is worked free right to the goaltender King. And the Storm now moving to center ice. Here's Uniacke as he picks it off at his own line. Uniacke skates right back. He winds. He shoots. A blocker stop by King. Uniacke in the corner. Throws it right across. Nobody there in white and black and red for the T-Birds. As Rick Judson will send in right side of Willett. Willett now giving to Lafayette. Uchuk cannot pick up. A shot by Bartley. A save. Rebound score. Toledo has tied it 1-1 as Greg Pahalski standing right in front, and he beats Willett down low to the right side.
Pahalski has been there all night long, pressuring, looking for rebounds. Let's take a look at some of the Storm fans that have made their way down from Toledo for the game one tonight. Will probably be here all weekend long. We take a look at it. T-Bird try to clear. Uchuk can't get to the pass. Pahalski there in front gets the rebound and stuffs it home. Francis Willett gave up the rebound, and Pahalski made the play. Hey.
Greg Pahalski with his 7th playoff goal. Toledo's assistant coach. And we are tied 1-1. Off the faceoff at center. Thunderbirds will send in. Here's King as he stops it behind his own cage for Corvo. Around to the near side for Duncan. He didn't have the outlet, so they send it back in deep. Now Bartley. He gives to Booth. And Toledo moves to center. Here's a near break as Willett comes out to play it away. And chasing it down now is Corvo. And Bartley clears back to center ice. Weave back in. A draw pass for Hicks. Hicks, he is bumped off the play by Legault, and that allows Edgerton to pick it up. Guevara to center. Here's Guevara left side for Schwartz. As he skates it down behind the goal line, met by Bartley. It comes loose. Corvo pins it against the cage at the near side. Stopping play. So 5:20 left to go in period number 1. We are tied 1-1 on the East Coast Hockey League Network.
Here are 3 things very important when you're looking for an apartment. At Piccadilly East, our apartments start at $265 with a deposit of just $150. We offer clean, spacious apartments centrally located with easy access to wherever you're going. Choose from a spacious 1-bedroom or a spacious 2-bedroom apartment. Piccadilly East offers many features you'll like at a price that will fit almost anyone's monthly budget. So if you're looking for a nice, clean, affordable apartment with the best in quality service, give us a call at 693-9391.
And welcome back to the Thunderdome in Wheeling, West Virginia. Joel Stern along with Bill Phillips. Face off right side of Scott King. The Tisdale taking it against Jablonski. It's loose and skated down there by Derek Booth. Booth clears to the near side for Flanagan. He cannot control it. Goes all the way down the ice. And Virtue is there to touch up. And icing called against Toledo. Well, if you just tuned in, Devin Edgerton gave Wheeling a 1-0 lead at 1:52. Or check that, 52 seconds of the first period from Roberts and Schwartz. And then Greg Pahalski tied it up at 13:56, right in front of goaltender Frank Willett. Derek Booth, outstanding defenseman for Toledo. He has 15 points in the playoffs. He led Toledo with a +41 this year. And we'll have the face-off once again, right side of King. Tisdale again against Jablonski. And off the draw, sent back in deep behind the Toledo goal line. Shots on goal, 12 for Toledo and 5 for Wheeling. And now the Storm's Flanagan across the right wing side, met by Blaine. A quick tip, Tisdale to Antos across the right wing side. Here's Antos in the corner, knocked down by Booth. Antos losing control. And now Jablonski will pick it up. So Jablonski, draft choice of the New York Islanders, at the blue line shooting, and it's tipped way into the peanuts. Stopping play. Well, Bill Phillips had a good bird's eye view of that shot at the far side as he's getting ready to do some interviews in between these first and second periods. Well, as a special thank you to the fans and Thunderbirds, the Civic Center and Cameron Coca-Cola are offering free Coke and 50-cent hot dogs to all fans attending the practice and pep rally tomorrow. And that is the practice at 10:30 to 11:30. And the pep rally will be 11:30 right here at the Civic Center. Face-off is sent back to center. Shot in again by Suey. A 1-1 tie. Uniacke looking to clear. Helped out by Seth. Up ahead to Uniacke across the line. Here's Uniacke. He backhands it in front. Kicked away easily by goaltender Stock King. It's loose at the near side. Kept in by Lafayette. He gives to Uniacke. A shot is way off the mark. And Tom Dion is back for it at center ice. We're down to 4 minutes and 10 seconds left in this first period. A 1-1 tie. Goals by Edgerton and Pahalski. Now play at the near side to center. And Toledo looking to bring in. Here's Weed, met by Dion. Pahalski falls down. And Roberts now scooting to center. Roberts in over the blue line, right side for Lafayette. Lafayette, he tries to wheel a pass in front. Uchuk is met at the far boards there as Alex Legault tries to throw his 2 cents in, but worked free by Toledo. So they come back to center. Here's Suey up to Deasley. He shoots on the run. A chest save by Willett, and he holds on for the faceoff. A couple of words being thrown about here from the near side, but nothing develops. 13 shots for Toledo and 6 for Wheeling.
Take a look at it here. Joel Roberts is just going to take the angle away. And the shot comes in a wrister, and Francis there with the glove knocks it down and then covers up. Francis Flett with another stop. That is 13 shots on goal, 12 stops for Francis here in the first period with 3:35 to go.
His last outing, he defeated Raleigh 5-3. That was in Game 5 right here. 24 wins for the regular season, 24-7-7. And off the face-off, Weeb and Edgerton. Check that, Hicks and Edgerton. Hicks wins. Here's a shot by Campbell. Block, he gets it back. He's played well here in the first. A 1-1 tie as Hicks is bumped by Legault. And now cleared at the far side to center. And right there for the Storm as Bartley shoots it in again. Legault up ahead to Edgerton. Edgerton weaves around Duncan. Now comes the center. Edgerton across the Storm line. Pass left side for Schwartz. He flips in. Right side and over skating Duncan. Kept alive by Kuwabera. His shot, a 6 save by King. Rebound poke is held onto by King. And he dies on top as play is blown dead. 2:57 left to go in period number 1. A 1-1 tie on the East Coast Hockey League Network.
Your attention, please. The starting lineup for Charlie's Dodge. The Best Buy Dodge Shadow, the workhorse Dodge Dakota pickup, the sporty Dodge Intrepid, the versatile Dodge Caravan, the exciting Dodge Spirit, the tough Ram 150, the dramatic Dodge Dynasty, the incredible Dodge Stealth, and comfortable conversion vans. This starting lineup is ready to go at Charlie's Dodge Maumee, the home of the cheaper deal.
Why is Scott King the winningest goaltender in the ECHL this year? Because he can come up with stops like this. A lot of pressure on King, but he's equal to the task. Spectacular save there, covers up. The T-Birds have an opportunity off of the face-off, Joel.
Very casual, confident style by goaltender Scott King. As play picks up, Bartley, as he finds the man at center, and Duncan, left side pass. Jablonski met by Virtue. He jackhammers it off the far boards for Antos. Now to Blaine. He kicks it up ahead for Tisdale, and offside call as Thunderbirds already inside the offensive zone, stopping play. Tim Tisdale, the assistant coach of the Wheeling Thunderbirds. Edmonton's 13th pick in the 1988 draft. Backup goaltender Rod Haupt tonight. He lost in Toledo 7-2 back on January 8th. So we'll have the face-off just outside the Storm blue line. A 1-1 tie. A full house here tonight and a loud one off the draw. It is controlled by Uniacke of Wheeling as he taps it in. And skating down is Bartley as King will cut it off for him. It's loose at the near side. Blaine is stopped. Antos comes in, tries to work it free. And Flanagan knocked down by Blaine, who picks it up. Here's Blaine as he looks to throw it in front. Knocked away there by the defense. And Campbell looking to clear. Some forechecking there by Antos. Keeps it in. A pass to Tisdale. He kicks it around to the far side. Blaine rolls it back in deep. Tisdale with 2:05 left. Now Dion steps out on the ice, but covering up the puck and stopping any pass play is goaltender Scott King.
King not going to take any chances. Joel, a player that made that possible for the Thunderbirds, Dean Antos, he's still waiting to explode. Had a great end of the season for the Thunderbirds as we take a look at Scott King, but he has really cooled off here in the playoffs since his trip up to Cape Breton in the Oilers organization. He's come back. He's not put the puck in the back of the net the way he was at the end of the year. He is waiting to explode as well. I talked to him the other day, feeling confident, feels good, thinks things are going to turn his way here in the finals.
So checkers are out there. You Chuck at center, Lafayette and Sin. Now Sin having a couple of words there with Derek Booth as the linesmen step in. Trevor Sin, the Thunderbirds' leading bad boy this year, he's going to skate off. So Sin skates his way to the birdcage.
Derek Booth in tow. They are both going to go, and I think Joe Ernst, the referee for tonight's game, does not want to let this series get out of hand early. He wants to keep the wraps on these guys. As we mentioned, two teams that have great skaters, but two teams that will not back down from physical play, and they have shown that so far in this very close and tightly played first period.
So it'll be a 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. 2:03 left to go in period number 1. A 1-1 tie. And off the faceoff, it's controlled by Toledo. Here's Suey as he gives it up ahead now. Judson across his own line, left side for Bartley. He tries to get around Legault, who ties him up in knots. Bartley stays with it nicely, met though by Uchuk. A pass behind the cage, a shot by Pahowski, score! Toledo takes a 2-1 lead. A shot by Greg Pahowski, left circle. And for Pahowski, that is his second goal of the game.
Simple play, Pahowski. The puck goes in deep, Joel. Pahowski, here's the puck as Legault rides the player off. It goes deep inside. Uchuk can't control, and then Pahowski's just sitting out in front, takes the pass. No one picks him up. Real quick wrist shot, a wicked wrister, goes up off of the shoulder of Francis Willett as we take a look at it from another angle behind the net. And he just gets it upstairs too quick for Willett to get the arm up to block it. 2 goals in the first period. Hopefully we'll be able to talk to the Toledo goal scorer here in the first period intermission.
So Toledo now leads 2-1. They trail 1-0 early. And off the faceoff, Virtue back deep inside his own zone. Tim Roberts now to Edgerton, racing to center. Edgerton across the blue line. A drop for Schwartz. He goes in, shooting a pet save by King. It's batted away to the far side for Duncan. And he rolls it left wing side as chasing down Corvo. A pass in front, a shot, and fanning. A rebound try by Corvo. He keeps it alive, poked away by Willett. Now Schwartz as the whistle blows, stopping play. Whoa, some end-to-end action there. As referee Joe Ernst says, let's hold it here, boys. So we'll have the face-off brought outside the Thunderbird blue line. Doug Sauter started growing that beard, as most players did, beginning of the playoffs. He says the key for the Thunderbirds winning this series, no surprise, good goaltending, specialty teams. And off the faceoff set right back in by Toledo. Here's Roberts, Tim Roberts. No relation to Alex as he moves to center to the red line across the blue line of Toledo. Pass left side for Schwartz. Here's Schwartz with 54 seconds left. Now to Edgerton. Pass left point, is a shot. Roberts. It's tipped away by King. Far side. Virtue looking to keep in. He cannot, though. Salvaged by Edgerton. Cross side Schwartz. He winds. He sends it in front. Deflected away there nicely by Campbell. So Toledo with 37 seconds left to go as they look to move it out of their own end. Mahalski with 2 goals here in the first. He taps it to center, and it goes all the way down the ice. Willett plays it as he saw Judson in front and whacked right back in by Corvo. We're down to 20 seconds left. It's still a 4-on-4 now. Virtue to Schwartz, and Schwartz says, hey, I'll just slip it high into the air. Corvo picks it up, waits for the zone to clear. Now he brings in Corvo. His shot is blocked by Virtue. Down to 5 seconds left. It's loose, right side of Willett. Corvo, Dion, as they kick in. The buzzer sounds. That is the end of period number 1, and a good one for Toledo as they skate off leading 2-1. We'll be back with lots more after this on the East Coast Hockey League Network.
You never look better. You're looking better than ever. Aquarius Athletic Club's for you. Aquarius will keep you looking good, it's true. At Aquarius, you never look better. Whatever you do, Aquarius is for you.
Here are 3 things very important when you're looking for an apartment. At Piccadilly East, our apartments start at $265 with a deposit of just $150. We offer clean, spacious apartments centrally located with easy access to wherever you're going. Choose from a spacious 1-bedroom or a spacious 2-bedroom apartment. Piccadilly East offers many features you'll like at a price that will fit almost anyone's monthly budget. So if you're looking for a nice, clean, affordable apartment with the best in quality service, give us a call at 693-9391.
The athlete's choice, athlete's need. Whatever sport or exercise program you're in, Athlete's Needs, Northwest Ohio's largest vitamin supplement outlet, offers you a wide range of products that can put you in high gear. From amino acids, protein or carbohydrate powders to vitamin C, One-A-Days, and Centrex. Athlete's Needs offers you the highest quality vitamin and supplements at savings up to 50%. Call 474-1044. Compare our products and you'll make Athlete's Needs the only choice for the athlete in you. Athlete's Needs.
Welcome back to the Thunderdome and Game 1 of the ECHL Championship Series between the Wheeling Thunderbirds and the Toledo Storm. Our score after 1 period of play. The Storm on top of the Thunderbirds by a score of 2-1. A hello again to everyone watching on TV5 in Toledo on Toledo Vision. I'm Bill Phillips along with the player assistant coach for the Wheeling Thunderbirds, Tim Tisdale, here in the first period. Tim, how would you assess the first period of play for both teams?
Well, we're down 2-1. That pretty well sums it up right there. They had a few more scoring chances than we did, but overall it was a pretty even period for both teams.
Before the game started, you've been there. You have the experience of playing in championship series in the past in your career. Did you say anything differently to the guys before you come out in Game 1 of a championship series?
I didn't say a lot. I just reminded the guys that and until you win, you don't know what the feeling is. And we've had a couple of guys that have lost championship games, and they were sharing their feelings more when they were feeling down rather than telling the guys how great it was feeling when we won.
Head coach Doug Sauter, what did he have to say to the team before the first period of play and during the first period of play?
He didn't really said much. He came in, told us to go out and try to play our game. It's our building. We earned that right to have the home ice, and Toledo was going to have to come in here and beat us at our style rather than us trying to change our game to beat Toledo.
Down 2-1 right now. What do you think some of the keys are for the Thunderbirds to come back in periods 2 and 3?
Well, not to panic. We still have 40 minutes left. We knew we weren't going to shut them out, so down 2-1 could be a lot worse than that. So we'll just try to regroup and just chip back 1 goal at a time.
Well, right now 2-1. Devin Edgerton got the first goal. Let's take a look at it. Why don't you describe what happened?
Well, you just got a lead pass, and the D-man got separated quite a bit, and Devin just went in, and a nice low shot. Not too many goaltenders were able to stop that one.
How big was that for the team at that moment? I know it just makes it 1-0. The game's far from over, but is that a confidence booster knowing that you're going to be able to get on the scoreboard tonight? You don't have to worry about getting that first goal?
It gave us a little bit of lift, but you know, we're professionals. If you can't get pumped up to play in the league final, then you should be doing something else. So really, it never really got us going that much. It got the crowd in the game a little bit more, but as for us, it really didn't do a lot.
Scott King as a goaltender, what do you look for? What are some of his weaknesses that you'll try to exploit in the second and third period?
Well, he's a good goaltender, really tall, and I think the key is to try to keep the puck on the ice and really get a lot of rebounds. There's not too many goalies in this league, and Scott King is one of the better ones that are going to get beat on the first shot. So we have to get to the net and get as many rebounds as we can.
Tim Tisdale, thank you very much for joining us here in the first intermission of the game. Our score at the end of one period of play, the Storm on top of the T-Birds by a score of 2-1. We'll be back with more right after this.
No matter what the temperature, the deals are always red hot at Charlie's Dodge Maumee. The popular Dodge Shadow is the ideal combination of price, value, safety, durability, and reliability. Versatile, safe, and comfortable, the original minivan, the Dodge Caravan, remains America's favorite. Ram-tough engineering, strength, and durability, the powerful Dodge Dakota is the pickup for you. Always a leader, Dodge cars and trucks are available at Charlie's Dodge Maumee, the home of the cheaper deal.
Where do you go if your car or truck needs body work, a paint job, or service? If you want it done right, you go to Rowe Collision. In business for over 20 years, Rowe Collision does the finest quality work with the most up-to-date equipment in all makes and models. And they're proud to be the only repair shop in Northwest Ohio that offers the state-of-the-art Genesis computer measuring machine that checks for frame and unibody damage. It'll put your car back to within 1 millimeter of its original factory specifications. If your car or truck needs help and you want it done right, call Rowe Collision today at 841-2889.
And welcome back to the Thunderdome, everybody. Our score at the end of one period of play, the Toledo Storm on top of the Thunderbirds by a score of 2-1 here in the first game of the ECHL Championship Series for the Riley Cup. Our guest here in the first period intermission, Ian Duncan of the Storm. And Ian, the Storm off to a good start. First 20 minutes goes away, I think you would expect it, 2-1.
You know, you don't expect too much coming into another building. First game of this series, it's both teams are filling each other out, and we got the better bounces in that period, and we're up 2-1, but it's a long way to go still.
Now, the Thunderbird fans never really got a chance to see you play in this building this year. Both times that you were scheduled to be in here, you were injured, one with the All-Star game.
Right.
What do you think of the atmosphere here in the Thunderdome, as they like to call it here in Wheeling?
Oh, I like that. I like that name, the Thunderdome. It's a very nice building, you know. It's the first time I was in here yesterday when we practiced, and it's got great ice, and seems like the fans are behind the team, and that always helps out the players on the ice.
Now, we talked to Tim Tisdale, the player assistant coach for the Thunderbirds, about Scott King, some of his weakness. How would you beat him? How do you look at Francis Willett?
You know, I don't know too much about him. I know that he's a left-handed goalie, so it still throws a little, you know, different things at us because he is a left-handed goalie. I think that he goes down a lot, so we have to get it up on him, and he's a butterfly goalie, so you just have to play we can play him up his rebounds. He lets a lot of rebounds out, and hopefully we can take advantage of it.
Okay, quickly, let's take a look at the goal scored by Greg Polhowski, and tell us what happened.
Well, I guess on the first goal here, a shot came from the point, and the goalie gave out a big rebound, and Greg just made a great play and put it home.
A big goal that tied it up at 1 apiece in the first, and then the second goal, he just kind of waited out high.
Yeah, it was a nice pass here, I think, by Wade Bartley or Ricky Judson to Greg Polhowski, and Greg got the puck on his stick. Didn't take any time, I don't think, just went top shelf on the goalie, and it's a nice goal by Greg.
Final question, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. You got to get ready for the second period of play, but the keys for the Storm to come up with a win here in the second and third periods.
I think we just have to keep taking the body. We're a much bigger team than them, and I think if we can wear them down over the 3 periods, I think we'll do a lot better than if we just try and skate with them.
Ian Duncan, thank you very much, and the best in the rest of the game tonight and the rest of the series. Thanks for stopping by. We're going to take another quick timeout. Our score at the end of one period of play, the Storm on top of the T-Birds by a score of 2-1.
TV5 AccuWeather is brought to you by the Video Connection Superstore.
The rain across the Midwest today will shift to the east tomorrow. A few showers will linger across Ohio tomorrow, especially in the morning, but the clouds will break in the west during the day. The weekend will start with some sunshine in Indiana. Temperatures will rise well into the 50s tomorrow. More clouds will spread into the region tomorrow night, with a few showers likely Sunday. Drier, cooler air will arrive early next week. For TV5, this is Laura Mack.
What's behind the legend?
Listen, he's under the bed!
And most terrifying of all, come with me. What's behind the mirror?
He's here.
Candyman. You don't have to believe. Just beware.
Our score after one period of play in Game 1 of the Riley Cup Finals in the ECHL Championship Series. It is Toledo on top of the Thunderbirds 2-1. I'm Bill Phillips. Welcome aboard, everybody in Toledo on TV5. And of course, welcome aboard to everybody watching on WTOV9. My guest now in the first period intermission, the commissioner of the ECHL, Commissioner Pat Kelly. And Mr. Kelly, a great first period of hockey and emblematic of a championship series.
It was, Bill. It was exciting. I think that's how the whole series will be played. These are two teams that won their divisions. They're first and second in the overall league. So that's what a championship should be, the best two clubs in the league.
Now, everybody, of course, knows that professional sports is a business. The bottom line is to make money for all of the teams and, of course, give an opportunity for players to move up the ladder, especially in minor league organization. How has attendance in the business of the playoffs been going so far?
Overall, it's just about the same as it was last year. We're going to play less number of games this year because we had less number of games played. We cut out 2 teams that didn't make the playoffs this year. We kept 10 teams in the playoffs instead of last year we had 12. But overall, it's going very well.
Speaking of teams in the ECHL, we will have a few new teams coming into the league. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the expansion for the ECHL?
Well, we definitely will be Charlotte, North Carolina, and Charleston, South Carolina. We're also talking to 2 or 3 more cities. The East Coast Hockey League could be as many as 20 teams next year.
How big would you want the ECHL to get before it becomes almost too many teams? Because a lot of bus trips, and I know that's a lot of wear and tear on the players.
Well, I think if we went to 18 or 20 teams, then we would go to 2 divisions and not play each other except in the championship round.
So it would become something like a Major League Baseball system where you have the National League and the American League?
You'd pretty well have to do that, Bill, because the travel would be just astronomical for the players. You couldn't expect them to go from one end of the state to the next, to the cities, Nashville up to Toledo, or vice versa, back and forth. During a season like that, it'd be too hard on everybody.
I would imagine it would really create some great rivalries depending on where the teams are situated.
It should. We've got some great rivalries right now, but I think I'll create a lot more.
Toledo and the Thunderbirds, 2 teams of Thunderbirds, of course, coming to Wheeling first time this year. The fans have really appreciated it. Could you imagine back in October when the season started that if someone had told you the T-Birds will be in the finals in their first year in Wheeling, would you have believed them?
Not my dreams. I think that this city has just taken over this team, and the team has taken over the city. So it's great for hockey and great for the East Coast Hockey League. And the Toledo fans are just as enthusiastic about their hockey team. When you get up there on next Friday Wednesday and Friday will be excellent hockey up there, and the fans will love it.
It's great hockey, 2 great hockey teams. Final question. Now, I tried to get you to commit to us the last time we had you on when it was the Ice Caps and the T-Birds, and you wouldn't give me a winner in that series. Can I get you to give us one here in the championship?
I don't. This is 2 equally matched teams. Both teams got some strength in different departments. But I think it's going to be a long series, and it's going to be a hard-fought series for both clubs.
Commissioner Kelly, I think that's the same answer you gave me before, but that's what we're going to have to go with, and hopefully it'll be a great series.
I think it will be, Bill.
Commissioner Kelly, thank you very much for joining us here in the first period intermission. Our score after 1 period of play, 2-1. The Toledo Storm on.
It's loose at front, and Hicks clears, and we have a major collision. Check that Duncan. He is pile-driven to the far side twice. Captain Edgerton shooting a left toe save by King. Lots of heavy hits. Here's a shot near side that just hits the post. And the net comes loose as Darren Schwartz, like a battering ram, stopping play. So the Thunderbirds ringing the bell to the far side.
Great opportunity there. Great play on the deflection. Take a look at it again. Scott King getting up a little bit slowly. Here it is. Comes in. Coolbear with the deflection. Goes right off of the post. And then it is Schwartz coming in saying hello to Mr. King. How are you tonight? I hope everything's going fine. You're beating us 2-1 right now. I'm going to have to hopefully see you again a little bit later. And Scott King up and moving around behind the net, so he appears to be okay. Curious to see whether or not he hit the back of his head on the ice. Didn't look like it, so he is up and ready to go. And so are we, as we have a little bit of a stoppage in play as the officials work on some ice that is coming up. A warm day here in the valley today, and a lot of people in, so the ice may be a little bit soft, chipping up a little bit as they work on it just outside the Storm end.
So we'll have a face-off just outside the Storm blue line. It'll be between Pahalski and Antos. Linesman drops the puck, and we're underway. Here's Bartley as he flips in right on goal, sticked away there by Willett.
For T-Birds, a first good minute of the second period. Good pressure on the Storm. Storm haven't been able to get anything generated yet. Here comes T-Birds again.
Antos as he puts on the brakes far side. The pass in front, kicked away off Blaine by King. Now Pahalski as he sends near side, kept in, right point by Tom Dion. He rolls it around the boards. Joel Blaine had an elbow operation early on, missed most of the season, as it's now recaptured by the Storm as Campbell to center. And he feeds in front. Beasley, his return is blocked by Dion. So that's about the third block by Dion. Comes loose again. Pahalski tips. A save by Willett. Loose to the far side. Pahalski is a demon out there
He
tonight.
is having a huge evening so far. He saw the doctor in between periods. That's why we weren't able to talk to him. Don't know why, but doesn't seem to be showing any ill effects.
And as Tisdale brings in right circle, he's met by Bartley. Tisdale hands him down to the ice. And Bartley says, hey, how's about that one, ref? As play is fought for behind the cage and now picked up by Bartley. So Bartley to Judson. Right side, Flanagan. He races in on Roberts. Flanagan moves behind the cage. Flanagan stays with it at the near side. Now Flanagan has, as Potomski has it poked away by Lafayette, recovers, sends back in deep. Toledo working it around. Here's Flanagan. An angle shot. It's tipped away there. A chest stop by Willett. Kept in though. Behind the cage. Pahalski says, hey, let's keep it alive. But nothing doing.
Nice play by Tim Roberts there with puck on the side of the net. Decides to hit the net. Puck pops straight up in the air. Makes a nice little catch. So it doesn't count for anything. It's just a nice play by Roberts.
So Tim Roberts having a fine playoff series as well in postseason. Thunderbirds leading offensive defenseman.
One of the few Thunderbirds that has a nice full playoff beard. A lot of them, as Rod Hauk has the summer beard. Some of the whiskers are here, some of the whiskers are there.
How about Marty Uchuk? I don't think he's shaving that.
Take a look at Justin Lafayette in the corner with, I believe that's Scott Campbell, big number 5, and they go at it right in front of our camera down on the ice level.
So Jablonski and Edgerton off the faceoff left side of what controlled by Wheelie. Edgerton picks it up to center across the line. A drop pass looking for Kouabaron, knocked away by Booth. Back inside the Thunderbird zone. 2-1, Toledo leading, 17-18 left to go in the second period. Edgerton races in, he one-hands it right in front. Kept alive by Schwartz as he taps behind the goal line. It's loose and played by Corvo. Corvo and Booth on defense. Potomski, Flanagan, now a hard hit at the far side. That opens up the door and stops play. Well, I haven't seen that so far this year.
That's the first time this season that's happened.
And
door comes over, everyone getting a laugh out of it. Take a look at it. Edgerton trying to poke check it away, and Schwartz is just going to take aim on Corvo and just knock him into the boards. The backside of the big guy going into the door and opening it up. I don't know what that says. Maybe too many meals at the fast food restaurants. I don't know.
Either that or hammer that door shut. Alex Hicks, fine right wing of the Toledo Storm.
Alex with one of the summer beards.
Alex Hicks had a good, fine regular season. 60 points. And off the faceoff, he moves back to the neutral zone, skating right to left across the wheeling line, left side. Here's Hicks, met by Virtue as he tries to center, but right to John Uniac. So Wheeling comes back. Here's a 2-on-2. Virtue skates and shoots. He scores! Terry Virtue has tied it up 2-2. Terry Virtue, Bill, we saw him do that in the opening round against Johnstown. He said, I'm going to drive to the net. And when he does that, he is very dangerous.
Terry Virtue, third goal of the playoffs, and you can see the play develop. Virtue gets it on the wing. He comes roaring in, drives to the net. King goes down, but not quickly enough. It sneaks underneath his shoulder and gets the corner of the post and goes in. A nice little play there by Schwartz and Virtue. Virtue, the only player on the Thunderbird team that last year was in the finals. He was on the losing end of the finals. He ties it up here in the second. This is what playoff hockey is all about. The best two teams going at it toe for toe. And they have started off with a great hockey game.
So Terry Virtue had only 3 goals in the regular season, gets his third in postseason. He has tied this up 2-2 as play picks up inside the Storm zone. And picking it up is Antos. He races in across the Toledo line. Now Tisdale in front, a pass in front, hacked out by Antos. A stop in front, he gets it again and shoots it just wide. Now Blade at the far wing, looking for Tisdale. He's stopped on check by King. And that allows Rick Judson to move to center. Now Judson flips in, knocked down by Dion at the blue line.
Tim Tisdale and
Andy Suey.
They may go at it as the puck is stopped. Tisdale very hot. at Toledo goaltender Scott King. As we get ready to take a break, we'll talk about it when we come back.
All right, 15:53 left to go in period number 2. We have a 2-2 tie. And face-off upcoming to the right side of Francois Ouellette. We've had some outstanding opportunities by both teams as Bartley keeps in. He looks to set in front, broken up by Uchuk. He dives, cannot clear. It's kept in nicely there by Suey. Here's Flanagan left circle, didn't know where the handle was, and clears back to Lafayette to center ice. Lafayette in across the line. Lafayette eluding a check. Well, he was knocked away enough by Flanagan. That allows Potomski to clear up ahead to Jablonski. A pass in front, a shot tipped just wide by Flanagan off the backhander. It's loose up the near side, a 2-2 tie. Terry Virtue tying it up moments ago. Here's Jablonski in the left circle, back to Suey. He shoots. It's wide to the near side. Lafayette cannot clear. Bartley, as he fumbles it and sends back in, and delayed offside is now called against Toledo. Flanagan having a couple of words there with Virtue as Gowan, the linesman, steps in to break that up.
Well, these tempers starting to heat up. Flanagan talking with Virtue, and now Trevor Senn steps into the mix. Trevor will never back down from anybody. I was mentioning Tim Tisdale and Scott King, the goaltender for the Storm. Tisdale came through for the Thunderbirds through the crease, and King gave him a little shot with his stick. Tisdale said something, kind of poked him back, and then King again with his stick as Tisdale was leaving the zone, and then it was Suey and Tisdale talking it over. So Scott King starting to agitate some of the T-Bird players. Will be interesting to see how this all unfolds and if it's going to turn into a brawling type series or are they going to stick to playing good, physical, solid skating hockey.
Well, speaking with Jeff Gibbons, who was a broadcaster for Toledo, he said they're not going to want to get a lot of penalties here. Not a dirty series, but Toledo certainly will want to wear the Thunderbirds down and hit them as hard as they can. And off the faceoff, here's Weeb as he chases in. Met by Uniacke. They collide right wing corner, and Edgerton will pick up the loose puck. A 2-2 tie. 14:49 left to go in the second. It's a shot by Campbell through a screen. A save by Ouellette. It's kept in by Weeb. Dan Weeb, a centering try. A shot hit, scores! Alex Hicks gives Toledo a 3-2 lead as he picks up the loose puck at the edge of the far right circle. Alex Hicks.
The Storm faithful that have come down from Toledo, excited about it.
He was scoreless in one game in the regular season against Wheeling. And he picks up his third playoff goal. So we are going ping pong here tonight, back and forth with the score.
Take a look at it again here. It's going to be Hicks getting the puck out in front. Uniacke goes down. It looked like it hit off of the wrist area of Francis Ouellette and got into the back of the net.
So Ouellette looked like he didn't see it all the way. And off the draw at center, Antos chases down at the red line and shoots in. So Toledo with a 1-goal advantage. Here's Booth behind his own cage. Campbell up ahead to Beasley, and Pahalski cannot control that pass. Legault sending in Blaine right side. Blaine met by Campbell, and now the linesman says hold it, and he stops play. An offside call against the Thunderbirds. Shots on goal, 17 for the Storm, and 12 for the Thunderbirds, as Campbell picks up his loose stick there.
Very different series for the Thunderbirds as they play the Storm. Storm, as you mentioned, they like to play the physical hockey. Every time they have an opportunity to give someone a shot, grab a stick, slow them down, just get under the skin of the T-Birds, they have done it. And it'll be interesting to see how the Thunderbirds respond to that throughout the series. A totally different atmosphere with the Storm than it was with the Ice Caps, a freewheeling skating team that didn't really like the physical play.
And off the faceoff, controlled again by Toledo as Campbell brings in left wing side. He's met by Legault. As he rolls it behind the goal line, Beasley comes in as he eludes. Well, he tried to hit Legault, came up empty there. And puck loose in front. Ouellette will clear it all the way down himself. The second time we see him done that tonight. It goes across the goal line, touched up by Booth and Icing. And Frank Ouellette taking matters into his own hands. And I guess if you have an opportunity to clear, why not?
You might as well. And Francis, he knows when he's in trouble. He knows when he sees his defense maybe spreading out, not in the positions that he wants to see him in. So why not just send it down, get everybody regrouped, talk it over, get in the right positions. And Francis just decided, I've got it here. I've got a wide lane. I'll just shoot it down the other end. We'll take the icing and then set things up from there.
They see Doug Sauter try to map out some strategy. Face off left side of Willett. And the Thunderbirds Roberts sneaks in, and he picks it to center. Across the line, Roberts angling far side, puts it out in front, stick save there by King. Tisdale overskates the rebound, and it's played by Deasley. Up ahead, Corvo across the line, gets around Legault, puts on the break. Smith there by Roberts. A pass slot by Pahalski, a shot just wide. Rebound, a save by Willett, and he covers up as we have bumper-to-bumper traffic right near him to his left side. So pushing and shoving again as Tisdale and Deasley having a couple of words for each other. Well, it looks like Toledo. They stormed the net. They pass very well in front of the cage. Top scoring team this year. As we see that shot, Pahalski shooting it just wide.
Pahalski with a good lane to shoot in. No one in front of him, but that also helps Francis Willett. He can come down, take down the angle, and also get a good, clear look at the puck. He doesn't have to worry about getting screened at the last second.
So Jablonski, as he faces off with Uchuk, he gets it and shoots off the draw. It's knocked down loose. Uchuk looking to clear, and he does. Andy Suey back for it as he sends in some of his teammates already in the zone. Here's Virtue. Terry Virtue tied the game 2-2, and Toledo came right back. They lead 3-2 here. Sen, his shot gloved, casually, nonchalanted by King, and he holds on. Very cool customer goal there, Scott King. So we're down to 13 minutes and 8 seconds left to go.
Take a look at it again. Sen comes in. Quick wrister. Not a whole lot on it. An easy save for King. King, a big goaltender, 6'1", 190 pounds, really fills up the net.
Trevor Sen, 3 playoff goals this year. Had a very good series against Johnstown. So the face-off right side of Scott King, Jablonski, and Uchuk again. It's loose. Sen, as he looks to keep it alive, he does. Now Dion cannot keep in blue line, so he back skates inside his own territory. 12 minutes, 55 seconds left to go. And Toledo leading 3-2 in game 1 of this final round of the Riley Cup playoffs. As Uchuk up ahead, Sen across the line, a drop pass for Virtue. He shoots, a stick stop there by King. It's loose on the near side. Now it hops into the air. Virtue is pinned as Jablonski knocks him off the play. It's loose. Suey cannot clear, but he finds Jablonski, who moves to center ice. Now Jablonski wise, he fires a glove stop, but it's called offside and would not have counted, should it have gone in the net. We have seen some exciting action here tonight. Thunderbirds took a 1-0 lead. A goal by Edgerton 52 seconds into the first period. And then Pahalski tied it up at 13:56 and gave Toledo a 2-1 lead at 18:17. Terry Virtue then tied it up here in the second. And then the Toledo Storm came back, a goal by Alex Hicks. And that's where we stand. Off a faceoff, Edgerton brings in right circle, puts on the brakes. He is met there by Bartley. A nice defensive play. And Lee sends back to center ice. Here's Roberts. A pass Edgerton across the line, right circle, a drop, a shot. Uniac just wide, a bullet. It was off the target though. Now Hicks back the other way, across the wheeling line. Hicks looking for Duncan, but Duncan didn't see it. Schwartz, rink wide, Kuwabera. We go back and forth. Here's Edgerton shooting. It's deflected by Booth into the netting, and play is stopped. Now Duncan and Schwartz getting tangled up at the far side. And play is stopped. 11:55 left to go in the second. And Toledo leads 3-2 on the East Coast Hockey.
My Sonoma?
Lago to Anthos. He's having a rough playoff series. A drop pass for Virtue. He went one way, the puck the other, and sent back to center by Deasley. Here's Corvo. Into the left wing side. Corvo back to Pahalski. Pahalski throws it in front. Blocked there by Legault. Now Tisdale as he carries to center. Tisdale over the right wing. He winds. He shoots. It's deflected by Corvo. Antos at the far side. He doesn't find any help. And Toledo bats it back inside the Wheeling zone. Uniac and Dion on defense for Wheeling. Here's Dion across the line as he rolls it in front. An easy stop there by King. And he holds on. Justin Lafayette being manhandled by Booth and Jablonski. Lafayette.
Scary part is Justin's so big that it takes two guys to really give him a tussle. He's so strong and so big, going at 6'6". Justin Lafayette I like to call him the albatross. Get the big wingspan. He can just hold off 2 defenders with both arms at the same time. Really a series that I think, at least from what we've seen so far, a series where Justin Lafayette's size is going to come into play. The bigger guys on the T-Birds may need to step up. One of the things I like from the Thunderbirds so far is they've tried to get John Uniac more involved in the offense, dropping the puck for him. He's got a very hard slap shot, one of the hardest on the team, hoping that through traffic, maybe a rebound comes out, someone can stuff it home, and if he lines it up, may just be able to beat King flat out. But a big, hard slap shot from John Uniac, and he could be a big key later on.
We saw Uniac score a big goal here last Friday night against Raleigh. Slap shot.
Take a look at the Storm bench. Someone being worked on. Take a look at head coach Chris Masorley, and trainer working on one of the Storm players to try to find out who that is and pass that along to you. Maybe got a stick up around the face.
All right, Lafayette is sent in there for the face-off, and he does not win it. Won by Jablonski instead. So the Storm will deflect back to the neutral zone. They lead 3-2. And the Thunderbirds send right back in, but Sen having words with Suey and Norm Eberle. One of the linesmen says, hey, cool it. And we'll keep an eye on that situation. So Sen skates back to the bird cage, admits a bunch of boos. Fans not agreeing with that. They want one of the Storm players to head off as well, and looks like he will. Andy Suey to the box. So that'll even things out.
4-on-4 hockey, and when it was 4-on-4 back in the first, Puhalski came up with his second goal, shooting from the top of the left face-off circle.
Well, before tonight's game, Doug Sauter said 4-on-4 situations are not good for his team because his checkers of Uchuk Sen and Lafayette cannot play a full shift out there. Now, McSorley is really off the handle here. He is not happy that Suey was sent off as well. Well, the Thunderbirds played a game in Toledo back in January. He was not coaching behind the bench in that one. He was sitting out a 1-game suspension. He ripped off his shirt. In another contest before that, was given the gate for 1 game. Brother of Marty McSorley. There you see Doug Sauter. He is not quite as animated, but has his own way of getting his point across.
He gets his point across very well. You are not going to miss it. And Chris McSorley really... the crowd letting him have it here in the Thunderdome.
Off the face-off, it is sent back inside the Thunderbird zone. Here's Edgerton. As he has lots of room, comes the sitter. Edgerton across the line. He's met by Booth and is picked off there by Campbell. Campbell, that's an open ear boards up for Hicks, but he cannot control. So play going back and forth. Now Edgerton back right circle. He comes in front. He is knocked down, and a penalty upcoming as Duncan touches up and Campbell goes off for holding, and a big power play upcoming for the Wheeling Thunderbirds. So Edgerton, Bill, making that possible with a burst of speed, and I guess Campbell had no choice but to wrestle him down.
It's really a tough situation for Campbell because the Thunderbirds' offense has been geared around Edgerton rushing to the net, dumping back, or finding Darren Schwartz in the slot, and he has just killed every opponent this year with big goals. Just take a look at Chris McSorley, not as upset about this as he was just a few moments ago, but Campbell there in a tough situation. Do I let Edgerton penetrate and then dump it back for Schwartz? Would I ride him out of the play, take the penalty, and put us down 4-3? An interesting situation. He decided he was going to have to take him down. He did, and now the Thunderbirds with a 4-on-3. So the Storm, it'll be a big test for their penalty killers. They have a good penalty-killing team, but 4-on-3, tough situation for any defensive team to be in.
All right, so it'll be a 4-on-3 for the next 1:28 for Wheeling. Edgerton. I'll pass Tisdale. Tisdale moves in, back Edgerton to the slot, shoots a block as they score! Well, the big shift pulls in for Wheeling, a power play goal, some nice pass work between Devin Edgerton and Tim Tisdale and Darren Schwartz.
We just talked about it. We talked about Edgerton going down, penetrating. This time it's Tisdale and Edgerton working to Darren Schwartz, the captain. We take a look at it. Tisdale, very patient, just waits. He knows someone's going to come free. Edgerton puts a shot on the rebound, goes right over to Schwartz. He stuffs it home. King really in a tough situation. It's not the goaltender's fault here. It's just too many men on the ice for the T-Birds against only 3 from the Storm. There's no way you're going to win that battle when you have Darren Schwartz there. He knows how to put the puck in the back of the net. He does not waste any time with the puck, puts a blade of the stick on it. It's in the net before you can say, where'd the puck go? And all of a sudden, it's a 3-3 game, so that penalty big as Edgerton and Tisdale work to play perfectly on the 4-on-3.
Darren Schwartz with his 8th power play goal, his 8th goal rather in the playoffs. Here's Virtue shooting on the run, blocked there by Corvo, and Booth can clear, kept in by Roberts. So Wheeling now applying the pressure. We have a 3-3 tie. Now Duncan, he skates the center across the Wheeling line, pass to Hicks, return to Duncan, a drop pass, nobody there, as Corvo has to skate it back inside his own zone. Darren Schwartz with 62 regular season goals. Now Tisdale steals at center. He looks for Roberts, but broken up nicely by Booth. Derek Booth double team as Tisdale comes in and bothers him. Number 23 sliding for it, and it's pried free as Hicks to Corvo, and now Toledo moves to center ice. Hicks, as he's checked by Dion, it's loose. Tom Dion picks up the loose puck. So Dion, as he leads Virtue to center, Virtue across the right wing side, Virtue, a pass in the slot, and Blaine couldn't get the stick down. Kept alive though by Virtue. They work it now to Dion, he winds, his shot is blocked, and Hicks clears back all the way down inside the Wheeling zone. A nice defensive play by Alex Hicks. He played on the All-Star team. Tom Dion back behind his own cage, a 3-3 tie. 8:47 left to go in the second. Uchuk brings it, he shoots, and King lets it go. It comes near side, Pahalski clears. Here's Suey. He is met by Uchuk. And now the Thunderbirds bring it back the other way. Trevor Sen, T-Bird skating left to right. Lots of hard checks. Joe Blaine throwing his weight around as Campbell picks it up. Now to Bartley. And Bartley sends in. So we'll play it. As he winds around near side, Pahalski with 2 goals tonight. Here's Judson. Uchuk knocks it away from him behind the net, and the referee blows it. And play is stopped.
Well, Joel, I have a sports challenge for you. You want to be a goaltender. Here it is.
I don't know if I do.
I don't know if I do either. I think that's why they made plexiglass on rinks so no one in the crowd gets hurt.
I think that's why they made us announcers.
That's right. They stuck us up far away from those hard rubber discs. Of course, I tried to be a goaltender in the sports challenge, made 1 glove save, and then Darren Schwartz took me to school. I couldn't stay on my skates.
Was that the sports challenge or the Schwartz challenge?
It turned into the Schwartz challenge on the first time around.
Off the faceoff, sent back inside the Thunderbird zone, but picked off there by Schwartz. Edgerton, right side, Kuwabera, right circle, fans on the pass, gets it back, throws in front. Roberts tries to keep in, Jablonski bats it, and it hops over the player bench, stopping play. We have 7:57 left to go in period number 2, a 3-3 tie on the East Coast Hockey League Network.
I like New York in June. How about you?
Toledo on TV5, and welcome aboard everyone in the Ohio Valley on WTOV9. And the face-off goes into the crowd immediately. The plexiglass not high enough in that situation. And just to let everyone in on it in Toledo, what the sports challenge is, I am a sports anchor, sports director at WTOV9, and we have people, viewers from around the valley send in cards challenging me to different sporting events. Our first one, as it hits the post.
So Legault's shot, right side, rings a bell to the near boards. Now Legault keeps in away from Weed. He finds Kuwabera. They have Schwartz in front, but the pass behind him. And Duncan now motors to center ice across the Wheeling line. He holds. Duncan been fairly quiet tonight as he looks for Hicks, far corner. Here's Hicks. A centering try is blocked there by Legault. Kept in by Suey. His shot is wide to the near side. Kept in nicely by Duncan. He sends back in deep. A 3-3 tie as number 3 Legault looks to clear. Kept in by Duncan. A hard check as he throws it on Legault, but Wheeling clears back inside the Toledo zone. Roberts at center. Takes a baseball bat swing and knocks it in.
To finish up the sports challenge, viewers send in cards and letters challenging me to different sports. The first one, the captain of the Thunderbirds challenged me, Darren Schwartz, to one-on-one. I had to put the pads on. Not a good move.
And you'll have bruises to show for that for a long time. Now play back at center is Corvo. Handed it right back to Virtue across the line, and And offside called. Stopping play against Wheeling. We're down to 6 minutes and 48 seconds left to go. The second. And a 3-3 tie.
Terry Virtue turning into a scoring machine in the playoffs. Only 3 goals. As we take a look at Chris McSorley, the head coach of the Storm, leaning out, trying to get the Joe Ernst, the referee's attention, I believe.
It'll be Pahalski against Antos, facing off just outside the Storm zone. And Uniac picks up the puck and shoots it in. Corvo, as he gives it to Booth, his defense mate, up ahead to Pahalski. Beasley to center. And he will flip in, but right there, Terry Virtue. Terry Virtue, a good skater. And here he comes to center across the right wing side. Virtue, as he passes to Tisdale, his shot block, gets it back, throws in front, and right there is Booth. Derek Booth, as he is known as one of the better two-way defensemen on Toledo, possibly the best. The shot is blocked there. And now taken by Antos. Can he clear? No. Kept in nicely by Judson. Here's Uniac. John Uniac looking to clear his zone. Cannot. Kept in by Pahalski. Virtue at the far side. Terry Virtue all over the ice. Thunderbird fans trying to get things going here. As Tisdale tips in deep, heads off for a line change. King, a long lead. Pahalski as they try to catch the Thunderbirds on the change. A pass to Potomski, broken up by the Thunderbirds. Dion, and he clears back the other way.
Tom Dion, for all of the Storm fans watching, you haven't seen him too much this year. The T-Bird fans already know this. Nothing fancy from Tom Dion, just a very solid defensive hockey player, and he has a great plus-minus, 35. Joel, and you've seen him all year long. You have to see him a number of times to really appreciate what he does. A very impressive hockey player, does not get beat on the fundamentals.
No, he's very solid inside his own territory. He doesn't look for the shot too much. Blocks a lot of shots.
Tom out of BU, willing to give up the body, and as we mentioned before, played in a national championship game against another Thunderbird, Dean Antos from Northern Michigan.
And a lot of famous teammates now in the NHL, one of which Tony Amonte. Winning the face-off right side of Frank Willett. We have a 3-3 tie, 18 shots apiece. 5:37 left to go in the second period as Uchuk is out there to take the face-off against Jablonski. So the linesman Everly drops it, and we're underway. Legault moves behind his own net. So the checking line of Uchuk, Sen, and Lafayette and Blaine now out there. So Blaine replacing Lafayette. Uchuk comes in shooting. It's wide, comes near side. Trevor Sen, he's bumped by Flanagan. It rolls behind the cage. King lets it go as Bartley knocked down by Blaine. Blaine keeps it. Now to Uchuk. Uchuk met on a check by Campbell. Worked free though by Sen. Trevor Sen, and he cannot control. There's a 2-on-1 Toledo. Flanagan winds, he shoots. It's deflected by Legault. So Flanagan looking to unload that hard slap shot. Trevor Sen, as he moves back to center ice and flips it in. Right side of King. Bartley stumbles and gets back on his pins. Thunderbirds make a change. They send out their top line. Edgerton, Schwartz, Kuwabera. As Jablonski comes in, a diving stop there by Roberts. As he closes off the passing lane, Jablonski, and his pass broken up by Edgerton, out of Virtue. Virtue has it knocked away at the blue line of Toledo by Weed. Sent in again, though, by Tim Roberts. Not playing tonight for Toledo. Bruce McDonald has a sore knee. Mark Rogers, a sore knee for Wheeling. And now the puck sent all the way down the ice by Toledo. And let's see, they call an icing against them. So play is stopped. We're down to 4:17 left to go. Let's take this break. A 3-3 tie on the East Coast Hockey League Network.
Satisfaction. Anything that brings pleasure and contentment.
If years of trouble-free driving will bring you satisfaction, then you'll be really contented.
Sometimes it just isn't your sport. If that's the case, we'll buy your old sports equipment from you. Play It Again Sports. We buy and sell used sports equipment.
See the Detroit Pistons take on Chicago Monday at 7:30 on Fox. We're 36 WUPW Toledo.
In case you missed it, the phone number for the great Gaylord Golf Passport, an $800 value for $99. Talk about nearly free tee times is 313-645-6666. Great golf up there, too.
I'm very impressed with the way you hit that golf ball, by the way, before.
But it did go somewhere. And the Boston Celtics with a turnover. Equipment is everything, Mike.
It hasn't helped me at all, I'll tell you that.
And a little Rick Smith help up in treetop. Isaiah to the baseline over Sherman Douglas. Isaiah controls. The Pistons will get a fresh 24. Parrish kicks it. Comes up a little gimpy. Got that sprained left ankle. That and almost now 17 years of NBA service and all those playoff games. There he is, a certain Hall of Famer. Gotta call him ankle. Always got a gimpy. Bill Lambier. Perry with another rebound as he catches the miss.
Well, the best thing for Detroit right now would be to make something happen off their defense. Their offense is struggling. They're not getting good shots, good looks. They're hurried shots when the clock is running down. Their defense has to pick back up.
Didn't there. Reggie Lewis with 17. Celtics by a deuce. Pistons on him 55-49 at halftime.
But he has all the ability in the world to back it up. He is solid from head to toe.
Well, the face-off to his right side. It is won by Wheeling, but it goes all the way back inside their own zone. So the Thunderbirds with an opportunity to take a 4-3 lead. We have 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in period number 2. Edgerton meanders to center across the Toledo line. Edgerton holds up far side. Saw past Roberts, his shot. A knuckleball stopped by King with a glove, and he holds on. Kuwabera standing right behind him, looking to pick up any garbage there. So Scott King reminds me a lot of the late Pelly Lindbergh of the Flyers. Not a lot of extra movement in goal there. He just makes the moves he has to. As we see him moving laterally to the near side, and casually comes up with that shot there with the help of Derek Booth. Shots on goal pretty even. 19 for Wheeling, 18 for Toledo. So Tisdale, Schwartz, Kuwabera stay up front. Roberts and Edgerton are back as Judson will win the faceoff. It's cleared around to the far side, kept in by Roberts. Here's Kuwabera. His pass to Schwartz behind the cage. Darren Schwartz with the goal tonight. He tied it up 3-3, now moves around to the near side, doesn't have the shot, back Edgerton. He shoots, tipped wide by King. Kuwabera keeps in. Here's Kuwabera, now to Tisdale. Tisdale comes in front, his shot is blocked. Whacked around to the near side by Suey, kept in though by Edgerton. Cross ice to Roberts. Here's Roberts. Edgerton, a one-timer, blocked by Judson, picked off by Duncan. He's knocked down, a penalty upcoming. It's touched up by Kuwabera, a trip will be called against Wheeling, so that nullifies their power play.
Not much of an argument as Ryan heads right to the penalty box. He knew he was the guilty party. The Thunderbirds, however, on that power play opportunity, for about 1 minute and 30 seconds, Joel, they had every opportunity that they like to get. Edgerton out top near the blue line. Whenever he gets a chance to tee it up, that means rebounds down low. Darren Schwartz behind the net, working it, wrapping it around. So the Thunderbirds, a very productive 1 minute 30 on the power play.
All right, but that goes down the tubes. So for the next 32 seconds, they'll be 4 aside. And then Toledo will have the man advantage. 2:49 left to go in this second. A 3-3 deadlock. Antos and Jablonski taking the draw. And it's sent back inside Thunderbird zone. Frank Willett directing traffic as Uniacke skates behind his own cage. Uniacke up ahead now to Blaine. And Blaine clears to the neutral zone. Brought right back in by Hicks. He is double teamed and Virtue knocks it back to the red line. Now Bartley giving to Campbell and he flips right back in. Uniacke as he skates down far corner. He's on defense with Virtue. Antos Blaine up front. Antos across the line. He shoots. A save by King. He looks to see where it is. And it drops into his catcher's mitt and he holds on. Scott King played 2 games in the NHL for the Detroit Red Wings. Was recalled earlier this year. Did not see any action, though.
Scott King, Joel, as you mentioned before, 6'1", 190 pounds. Dean Antos comes roaring in. Has an opportunity to get the wrister off. King, not sure where it was. He got it right between the pad and the glove, and it just sat in the glove for him. He gets his stoppage of play, a very solid goaltender. You can't say it enough. Some great goaltending will be played here in this series, and Francis Ouellette and Scott King off to great start so far here. Shots 20-18 in favor of the T-Birds right now.
And off the draw, it is controlled by Corvo of Toledo. So Corvo, as he looks for Pahalski, finds him to center across the left wing side of Wheelie. A draw pass to Booth. They work it right circle, knocked away by Dion. And Dion, as he picks it up, loses the handle. And it is sent, though, by teammates back inside the Storm zone. We're down to 1:53 left to go. And hold on, folks. It will be a white knuckler as Weeb across the line, left circle. A drop for Pahalski. Here's Pahalski in the corner, throws back, high slot, Weeb tees it up, he shoots, a save by Ouellette.
Tom Dion, I think, got a piece of that, Joel, going down.
Now Booth keeps it. Derek Booth back to Corvo, he winds, he shoots a glove stop up high by Ouellette, and he holds on with Mr. Weeb standing right in front of him. Frank Ouellette playing the bulk of the games for the Thunderbirds this year, won 24 of those.
Francis scanning the scene, looking up to the high slot. He's going to pull it down with the glove hand, not take any chances as he didn't have an opportunity. But Tom Dion, again, showing you why he's a solid defenseman, goes down early in that power play series, and he also carried out Francis Ouellette, 5'10", 185 pounds from Victoriaville, Quebec. Super individual and a great goaltender.
He lost once against Toledo in overtime right here New Year's Eve, 3-2. And off the face-off, kept in. No, it's picked off by Edgerton. So he skates the center. Edgerton holds and flips in. Schwartz pokes it and chases down near side. Here's Schwartz in the corner. Eluding a check by Corvo. Stays on his skates. He comes in front. Shoves a pass just wide. Taken by Hicks. And Toledo trying to clear their zone. And they will. Here's Booth up to Corvo to center. Corvo across the line. Gets around Virtue. He goes in a pass to Deasley. Poked away. It goes in, but hold it as Virtue and Hicks now having words. The linesman says offside. And I guess that is a no-no in hockey. You don't shoot the puck into the cage when the whistle blows, but evidently the Toledo players do not hear it. So they'll bring the faceoff back outside the Thunderbird zone. We have 1:01 left to go. Aaron Schwartz, captain of the Thunderbirds, was the MVP of the All-Star game here back on February 2nd. Had a pair of goals. Norm Everly will have the face-off just outside the line.
12 seconds left in the power play opportunity for the Storm. Ryan Cuavera about ready to come out. 1:01 left in the period. 3-3 game, and Joel, you said it was going to be a white knuckler the rest of the way. One of the best hockey games so far this year, and we have just played 2 periods, all knotted up at 3 apiece.
And off the face-off between Hicks and Antos, controlled by Toledo, but they're forced back inside their own zone. Bartley, a pass center to the red line for Deasley, and he tips in. Ouellette, as he sends around near boards, and both teams 6 aside. It's loose near corner inside the T-Bird zone. It's worked free by Hicks. A shot, and let's see. I don't see the red light on. Well, Ouellette making the save. It looked like Hicks, or Duncan rather, got the stick up high in the air, and Frank Ouellette says, no, I got the puck. As we see the replay, Hicks with a soft shot there. And there you see cruising in front was Duncan, but as we all know, the puck has to cross the goal line. So we'll have the face-off right side of Francois Ouellette. One of the looser guys on the Wheeling Thunderbirds, never uptight, always enjoys the game, even on game days. So Hicks and Antos will take the draw. Dean Antos was a house of fire in the second half of the season, finishing with 25 goals, and has cooled off here in the playoffs, so had 1 goal against Johnstown. And off the draw, brought in deep by Bartley. We're under a minute left to go, 32 seconds left. A shot and a save by Ouellette. It's loose once again. The arms went up, and the referee says nope. And play is stopped. So 2 close calls by Toledo. The net came looser a bit as Duncan, holding his face there, might have got clipped up high.
Take a look at it again. It's Duncan behind the net. puck comes out. It looks like a great opportunity. Great save there by Francis with the pad, and then Duncan drilled into the net. I believe that's Terry Virtue leaning on him, making sure he stays down, and then the puck is lost in a mass of players, and they stop play with 28 seconds to go here in the period. 3-3 game, and a big face-off here for the Storm with 28 seconds to go, and it's going to be Hicks taking the face-off against Edgerton.
And don't forget, fans, next game, Game 2 Sunday right here at 6 o'clock. As the clock ticking down, Tom Dion behind his own cage. Here's Dion, a defense with Uniacke up front, Tisdale, along with Edgerton and Schwartz. Dion to center, across the line, Dion right circle. He moves in deep, a back pass. Tisdale couldn't get the backhander away. Edgerton tries, it's wide. Tisdale now with 2 seconds left, one, and that is that. The siren sounds, the buzzer blows, and that is the end of period.
Pistons lead him 72-67. Less than 2 left in the third. Daniel against Alvin. All the Pistons talking on defense, especially Bill Lambier inside. Isaiah, great save for Alvin Robertson. Tremendous stop by the Pistons.
Team gets it back. He tosses into the right wing corner. Edgerton eluding a hard check there by Hicks. Edgerton as he flips back in. Kouabera, right side. A pass intended for Edgerton, and he was tied up in knots. Now Derek Booth as he tries to get away from the forechecking of Darren Schwartz. And Toledo's Duncan up ahead to center ice. He is stopped dead by Virtue. Thunderbirds making a change as they shoot it back in. Tom Dion rolls it in, and King will stop it. So Toledo, as they move back to center ice. Here's Pahalski across the line, and he couldn't turn the right way. Uniacke sends back to the Toledo line. Here's Bartley. He winds, he shoots, and it's a hit. Hunter hits the glass. It bounces far wing for Tisdale. Tisdale to center, and he rolls it in, but didn't have enough steam on that pass. And Bartley sends back to the Wheeling line. Shot in again by Uniacke. A 3-3 tie. And Bartley touches up, and they say it was shot from the Thunderbirds side of the red line. And icing called against them, so they bring the draw back inside their territory. Well, this place is jumping tonight to capacity. It's pretty warm in here as well, but so far the ice surface has held up pretty well. Thunderbirds played in Raleigh in the second round, and in game one it was hot and humid down.
And skies will also clear through the Ohio Valley. But for Saturday...
We've had a minute and a half gone by here in the third. And the face-off upcoming to Frank Willette's right side. So Pahalski and Antos will take the face-off. Deasley, Judson up front for Toledo. Campbell on defense with Bartley. And off the face, here's Dion. Up ahead to Tisdale. Now to Blaine, and play is stopped. Some words between Uniacke and Pahalski. Linesmen step in. We could have a couple penalties dished out right here. Looks like we will. A stoppage, 18:26 left to go in the third. A 3-3 tie on the East Coast Hockey League Network. It's 1 win, 1 loss, a 2.52 goals against average. And we're underway, so we'll try to keep an eye out there for Scott King. Didn't see anything wrong with him, but nonetheless, play resumes. Here's Booth. His shot is wide. Kept in, though, far side, left wing by Judson to Duncan. Ian Duncan, the captain of Toledo, sends her out to the near boards. Edgerton and Judson tie each other in knots. Booth keeps in. Here's a drop pass for Suey. He loses the handle. Darren Schwartz now looking for some help in Virtue. Terry Virtue has a goal tonight. His clear out of pass attempt is tipped into the crowd, far side, stopping play.
Now King is coming back onto the ice. Harvey's going to sit down as they make a line change.
Well, a cameo appearance by goaltender Elaine Harvey. So King back into the twines there for Toledo. I remember Brian Murray of the Washington Capitals at the time. He used to do that, especially in playoff time. He used to have Al Jensen in goal for the Capitals.
What's the advantage of that?
I'm not quite sure, but nonetheless, Brian Murray used to, if he didn't like what he saw in goal, he would just change him. I don't know if that's the reason, but nonetheless, we're underway, and now both teams are at 6 aside. Uniacke and Pahalski are back. So Dion behind his own net. Up ahead, Uchuk. Uchuk, Lafayette sent out there for Wheeling. Here's a drive by Sen, a right toe save by King. Jablonski looking to clear, and he does. Dion, though, intercepts at center. Dion at the near boards. Double team by Weeb and Bartley. Uchuk says, hey, if you don't want it, I'll take it. And he flips it back off Lafayette's skate. Jablonski went down under his own volition as Bartley now clears back inside the Wheeling zone. A 3-3 tie. We played overtime here last Friday night, televised game. Lafayette cannot reach that long pass as Bartley back for it to Campbell. Not playing tonight, Bruce McDonald for the Storm. Mark Rogers for Wheeling. Here's Uchuk. Marty Uchuk with the goal in Raleigh, game 6. Thunderbirds won that 3-0. And now it's stolen by Deasley. A backhander right through the crease. Knocked away by Willett. An angle try, kicked away, left toe save by Willett. Now Judson keeps in, so Toledo applying the pressure. Here's Legault. Crowd saying, come on guys, let's get it together. Lafayette to center. Anto steps on, takes the pass. He brings in. And nobody defeats you on the left wing. And Deasley is there for the Storm, and he sends right back the other way. So Joel Blaine is out there with Antos. Antos across the left wing side. He throws it across. Tisdale jackhammers at it. Kept in. Right point by Virtue. His shot. His block. He was knocked down by Weeb. So Toledo trying to grind down Wheeling. Here's Deasley. He is bumped in return by Blaine as he unloaded the pass. Shot right back inside the Storm zone by Uniacke. And offside is called by linesman Norm Eberle. So we've seen some interesting things here.
At Food Town to an even better one. Membership is free. Apply today at any Toledo.
I'm still trying to figure it out. No one went over to King. It didn't look like King fiddled with any of his equipment. The only thing that I can possibly think of is maybe he was in danger of getting a delay penalty for not having a certain line on the ice, and if he says, well, I'm going to make a goaltending change, that gets him out of that situation. I don't know. We'd have to ask Chris McSorley after the game. That's the only thing I can think of at this point.
Of course, the home team has a final line change, and off the face-off, it is won by Toledo. Corvo's right wing pass. Nobody there in red and white for Toledo. And now Uniacke will start out of his own end, but we're going to have a penalty, and it looks like a roughing call. As we have some words at center ice, Darren Schwartz skates off.
We have heard or just been told that they just pulled King to give him a rest.
Interesting. Well, it's playoff time, folks, so they're pulling out all the stops.
Anything can happen come playoff time. We'll go with that.
Sounds as good as anything. So we'll have the face-off just outside the Wheeling line.
Surprised the goaltender of King's ability and stature would need to take a rest just 3 minutes into the third period, though. I'm not sure if I'm going to buy that line.
All right, well, keep tuned into Jeopardy, I guess. Maybe we'll see that on there tomorrow night. It'll be Hicks and Edgerton facing off just outside the Wheeling line. Far side, won by Toledo. They go in shooting, a save, rebound. Duncan couldn't tee up his own rebound. He had the empty net and couldn't put it in. And now the Thunderbirds Edgerton to center one-on-one as he goes to his backhander, knocked away on a good defensive play by Corvo. And Booth now moves back to center. Well, we're going to have a penalty on Schwartz as he is off for 2 minutes. And Toledo with a man advantage, and the Thunderbirds steal and send all the way downtown. So Bill Phillips busily jotting this down. It's brought in left side. As Hicks has his pocket picked by Virtue. Not clear, though. It hops right to a let glove. Head high, and he holds on as Duncan gets a shove from Virtue. Lots of pushing and shoving here tonight. No fights, though.
No fights so far, and Francis Willett playing center field in the crease tonight. As they would say in the olden days of baseball, a can of corn. An easy pop-up for Francis Willett. Does get some pressure there from Duncan, who reaches up with the left hand, but Francis with a big squeeze on it for out number 3. And they will start the next inning off with a face-off to Francis's right side.
So Pahalski, 2 goals tonight, goes against Dean Antos. Antos, Tisdale up front. Penalty killers off the face-off. Antos, a good face-off man, wins. Goes to Uniacke, and he whacks it around the near side and goes all the way down the ice. Here's Kingford. A 3-3 tie. Schwartz, Virtue, Edgerton for Wheeling. 2 goals by Pahalski and 1 for Hicks. And now the Thunderbirds steal again and find daylight. We have 13:23 left to go. In regulation, Joel Stern with Bill Phillips. Here's Weed. In on the right wing side, a draw past Bahalski, looking for the hat trick. He sends Weed behind the cage, back Bahalski. He's bumped by Uniacke, taken down. Getting it up, though, is Weed, back blue line Corvo. He throws in front, a glove save on his knees. Frank Walletley holds on.
Bahalski upset with himself. Bahalski, who has 2 goals, looking for the deflection in front, disappointed that he didn't get through and deflect the puck before Francis Ouellette could get the glove on it. Bahalski looking for the deflection.
He wasn't boxing out. So you send the message by reducing his minutes, and you hope that a guy will step forward and fill in and get the job done. That's what Bill Lambier did. That's what Oldham Polonese did. And now Mills hopefully will remember this, make some adjustments, and bounce back.
Lewis makes on Isaiah's intentional foul to get Danny Young in. 43 points tonight for Isaiah Thomas. Hey, 10 assists, 8 boards, and 5 steals, too. Reggie Lewis has 28 Celtic points. He's trapped now, but it's 190. Randall gives to Worm. Melvin Newburn.
Hey, shoot that!
Mark Randall, pump fake and a drive, and he scores.
As they combine far side, a heavy hit on Virtue.
It has to be a boarding call, and Terry Virtue is down, and he is hurt. Duncan not taking any time, going right to the penalty box, but that is a very dangerous situation. Anytime a player has his back to the play and he is rammed into the glass like that, a very dangerous situation. Terry Virtue down. Hopefully he's okay. The doctor already on the ice for the Thunderbirds. Virtue up against the glass and just slammed by Duncan. Really just a cheap shot. Just a bad situation. So you get a look at Terry Virtue. And,
well, Virtue is still on his back. He was slammed into by Duncan. Terry Virtue.
Now, I can see Duncan coming in and getting a piece of Virtue, but to leave your skates and catch a man in the top of the back, that's a dangerous situation, and hopefully Terry okay. Ian Duncan already in the box. He'll be there for 2 minutes, but a dangerous situation. Never like to see a player go into the glass like that, regardless if it's a Thunderbird, a Storm player, anybody, any hockey player. That's a very dangerous play right there. We take a look at it again, and the tail end of it is Virtue goes down with Duncan on top of him. Ian Duncan, I'm not going to call him a dirty player, but in that situation, leaving the skates with a full head of steam, not a smart play, not a smart time to take a penalty. He's going to get a 4-minute penalty. So a big penalty there for the Thunderbirds, and Ian Duncan, the captain, really puts his team in the hole. So I'm not going to call him a dirty player, but just not a smart play in that situation.
Don't call him that because we're going to Toledo on Wednesday night.
I know we are, and that game will be televised right here on WTOV9. But you have to wonder what Ian Duncan's thinking in that situation, ramming a player like that in a boarding situation.
All right, nonetheless, it will cost him 4 minutes for Duncan. And in 14 seconds, Wheeling will have a man advantage. And the face-off upcoming just outside the Thunderbird blue line, a 3-3 tie. Antos and Hicks off the draw, and it's won by Wheeling. So Roberts on defense as they have Tisdale, Antos, Edgerton out there. Now Tisdale stick handles the center. He carries over the line. Tisdale looking for Antos. He's too well covered by Hicks, but sends back in deep. Now Tisdale, bottled up by Bartley. In comes Antos, works it to Roberts. Cross ice Edgerton, a quick pass, Antos. And he is met there by Bartley. So the power play now in effect for Wheeling. A 3-3 tie. 12 minutes and 5 seconds left in the third. Antos to Roberts. He threads the needle. Here's a shot by Schwartz. Wide rebound, score! Tisdale with a power play goal, and he gives the Thunderbirds a 4-3 lead. Tisdale has been hot with a man advantage of late. Tim Roberts, he found Schwartz as he let the one-timer rip, and the backhander by Tisdale standing to the right side of King. So that penalty to Ian Duncan, very, very costly.
Well, we talked about it before. It didn't make much sense. Duncan going in and ramming Virtue into the boards cost 4 minutes. Now it's down to 2 minutes. So the T-Birds stay on the power play, even though they score a goal. Usually they're erased, but a 4-minute power play turns into a 2-minute power play after the goal.
So Tisdale, who had 33 goals in the season, now with his 7th in postseason, and off the faceoff, and is sent back in deep inside the Storm zone. Suey fends on the clear out, helped out by Jablonski. His pass broken up blue line by Dion. Uchuk far side. He is hit, but gets it to Lafayette. Lafayette rolls behind the cage. Here's Sen, a pass in front. Uchuk, his shot, a save. It's loose in front. Here's Weed, and he clears back out of danger. Now Dion being forced deep by Jablonski to the far side, but he hits Lafayette to center. Across the Storm line, his angle shot is wide. And Jablonski will whack the rebound all the way back down the ice. Well, playoff time, especially those little blemishes, those penalties, mistakes, mental mistakes can cost you. As Roberts is center, he brings in left side Roberts, and the whistle blows, stopping play offside against Wheeling. 11:03 left to go in regulation. Thunderbirds are leading 4-3. Last couple of minutes. Duncan, a pass to Potomski. He is slowed up on a good check by Legault.
Thunderbirds have done a great job riding the Storm off the puck, and here comes Lafayette.
Lafayette, left right circle, a pass in front, a shot, and a sterling save by King. Good anticipation by Scott King. Jablonski the other way. He's knocked down left circle, forced into the boards by Legault. He can't clear, kept in by Campbell. His shot deflects away by Roberts. Flanagan near corner. As it comes loose, right point. Derek Booth. Sen tries to block it. Cross ice Campbell. His shot deflects into the netting, and play is stopped. So the Thunderbirds coming back, playing good, solid checking. And shots on goal, 26 apiece. As we see Dave Flanagan.
That last series for the Storm, really their first opportunity in about 4 or 5 minutes to put anything on net. As we take a look at shots on goal, 26 apiece for the Storm and the T-Birds. But the Thunderbirds defense really did a good job at poke checking the puck away. The Storm has to find a way to generate some offense here. Down a goal, only 5:30 to go. As we take a look at some of the action, Lafayette in a wrestling match down low with Flanagan.
Well, the Thunderbirds doing what they do best. Best defensive team in the regular season, allowing only 223 goals. And off the faceoff right side of Ouellette, a shot by Corvo blocked by Dion, and he covers up on top of it. And we'll have a faceoff. Tom Dion, as my calculations show, his 4th block of the game out of Boston University. So we'll have the draw to the right side of Frank Ouellette. It'll be Pahalski and Edgerton. Pahalski 2 goals tonight, Edgerton with 1. And off the faceoff, the Thunderbirds will send back inside the Toledo zone. It's short of the goal line, so King will play it for Corvo. Toledo trailing 4-3. Now Dion picks it off at center, and he sends right back in. Edgerton in the far corner, a pass in front, Schwartz, his shot, and a save by King. A tremendous stop by Scott King, and he holds on. So Scott King sliding to his right side, making that stop, robbing Darren Schwartz of his 2nd goal of the game. Scott King, 25 years old, Red Wings 10th pick back in 1986. And you can see a lot of good coaching there. Edgerton working the puck free to Schwartz. And Schwartz being stopped dead on. So the face-off to right side of King. Edgerton, as he wins the face-off, a shot, a pad save by King again. Now Judson at the far side. So Toledo playing rope-a-dope here. We have 4:53 left to go in the 3rd. Kuwabera steals at center, waits for his teammates to clear the zone. Now he finds Schwartz back. Kuwabera chases it down right side. He's bumped hard by Bartley and worked free by Judson and out, as it's deflected by Pahalski back inside the Wheeling territory. Now John Uniacke give it back to Pahalski at center at the far boards, and Kuwabera ties him up for a faceoff. 4:32 left to go in the 3rd. Let's take this break on the East Coast Hockey League Network. outside the Thunderbirds blue line. A 4-3 Thunderbird lead. 4:32 left to go in regulation. A packed house here at the Thunderdome. And the Thunderbirds win the faceoff. Here's Virtue as he flips in over the blue line of Toledo, but they pick it off and come right back. Here's Hicks, high slot, past Suey. His shot whistles just wide as Willett screened by Weed. And now the T-Birds clear back to the neutral zone. Bartley there for it. He backhands it in once again. Virtue, Roberts on defense. Antos, Tisdale, Blaine up front for Wheeling. And Toledo countering with Weeb, Duncan, and Hicks. Bartley on defense with Suey as Bartley sends in. Here's Virtue. Looking for help, double teamed as he gets hit hard by Hicks. A centering try by Bartley. Weeb couldn't get the stick down. And Tisdale clears and just over the line. Antos.
Joel, the T-Birds can...
Well, now Blaine, as he will flip it, head off for a line change.
T-Birds continue to do a great job defensively. One shot, no rebound, and then they get to clear the puck. That time the puck kept in because the referee got in the way, but the T-Birds doing a great job of killing the clock and keeping the Storm from getting any opportunities.
Here's Hicks as he sends to the red line, looking for Weeb, broken up by Legault. To Lafayette, an angle shot is wide to the far post. Kept in though by Sen. To Uchuk, a pass to Lafayette. It hits the heel of his stick. He chases down far side. Cross ice, left point Dion. He shoots a right toe stop by goaltender Scott King. And now comes to the near side for Duncan, and he finally clears. Well, Dion is there. He waits and whacks it in again. So we're down to exactly 3 minutes left to go in period number 3. Wheeling leading 4-3. As Judson bottled up by Dion, so the Thunderbirds looking to keep it in. Bartley, a left wing pass, Sen knocked it down, recovered though by Judson. Judson, far side, as he is met by Uniacke. A pass. Here's Pahalski looking for the hat trick. A pass in front, over-skated by Judson, picked off by Sen. Now sent to the neutral zone, and he sends it in.
Good play by Sen there, getting the puck up ice, out of the zone, out of danger, dumps it in, kills some time, and gets off to get some fresh legs on there for the Thunderbirds. Storm have to change up. They're still looking to find that big opportunity.
Here's Diesel. They call him Diesel. A pass right side for Pahalski, but he's met there by Schwartz, who flips it out of the zone. We'll keep an eye on Scott King. We're down to 2:10 left. Virtue brings in. He races left circle, a backhander right across the goal crease. And picked off far side as Virtue walloped. A hard check on him by Pahalski. And Virtue gets up. He's all over the place. Looks like 5 Virtues out there. Schwartz sends all the way down. He is unloaded on by Deasley. He didn't see the big Diesel coming at him, and now play is stopped. And offside called against Wheeling. So we're under 2 minutes left to go, and nobody leaving the Thunderdome.
Joel, you mentioned it, Terry Virtue. It seems like there's 5 of them out there. He has played an outstanding game. He has been all over the ice. The defense has been very solid all game long for the Thunderbirds. Right now, the icing will give the Storm an opportunity to face off in the Thunderbird end. They have not been able to generate any offense here in the third period to speak of. They have had a few opportunities. They have not capitalized. Here, a big face-off. Dean Antos, perhaps the best, arguably the best face-off man for the Thunderbirds, will take the face-off against Jablonski for the Storm.
Antos is out there with Blaine and Tisdale, Legault, Dion on defense. And we had a false start. They'll do it all over again. Jablonski, Flanagan, and Potomski. And back on D, Bartley and Suey. So a little conference out there with Legault and Tisdale. Linesman Sam Gowan waiting for everybody to get set. And now Jablonski skates over to the Toledo Storm player bench. Get a couple of words of advice there from head coach Chris McSorley. And let's see what this is about now. Thunderbirds have the last change, being the home team.
Joel, what they're going to do is they're going to change the clock back. Since it was a false start, they want to put 2 seconds back on the clock. It was at 1:52. The clock ticked off 2 seconds, so they replaced the 2 seconds. The Storm need every second right now. Down a goal, they don't want to give anything away to the Thunderbirds here in the Thunderdome. They want to take as much home ice away as they possibly can. Good awareness of the clock and time management by head coach Chris McSorley.
So Jeff Jablonski, who has 1 playoff goal, wins the faceoff, but Suey cannot keep in. It goes all the way down, and Bartley is back for it behind his own cage. So they will look for the opportunity to get King back to the bench for the extra skater. Here's Flanagan near side. He's been held in check tonight. He rolls in. Here's Willett. Stops behind his own cage. Flings it to the far side. Potomski battles with Legault. Tisdale falls down, gets up, works it to Antos. Thunderbirds are center. Now Blaine tries to get around Suey. Blaine goes in. He fakes. He shoots. He scores! Joel Blaine with a backhander. He gives the Thunderbirds a 5-3 lead. Joel Blaine with his first playoff goal. A deafening.
Joel, a great play made possible by Alex Legault. I don't know if we'll get to see it on the replay, but Alex Legault, the puck came to the board. The Storm tried to keep the puck pinned. They got it loose. Legault fed Antos, and then it was Blaney came in. Beautiful little move. The backhand beating a diving King, and the T-Birds have the insurance goal that they needed. And you have to wonder what happened to the Storm's offense here in the third period. They have just simply disappeared. They didn't show up for the third. A big play in the entire game, if you look back at it, was the boarding call against Duncan, a 4-minute penalty. That gave the T-Birds the power play. Tisdale converted there, and then the Storm offense seemed to disappear, and now Joe Blaine puts the T-Birds up by a score of 5-3, a huge insurance goal. That'll probably keep King in the net the rest of the way and not allow the Storm to put on an extra skater unless they want to take a chance. It doesn't really matter. They should put the extra skater on when they get an opportunity. They're down 2. They need something to get them sparked. They have 1:19 to go. Crazier things have happened.
And off the face-off, and it's controlled by Uniac of Willing, and he backhands it in. So we're down to 1:12. Left to go. We have Fifth City at center. It's Trevor Sen and Barry Potomski. Potomski with an uppercut. Sen trying to throw the lefts. 2 heavyweights right here. And Potomski with a big height advantage. He throws another uppercut. Sen with a right. As they still go at each other. And this is the first fight of the game. And the linesman, Sam Gowan, Noel Neberly step in and break that up.
Trevor Sen pumps up Joel. He is ready to go. He is ready to go. He's got this crowd rocking. He is ready to go. He's not going to let the T-Birds back down in the Storm. And Jablonski, he might as well. Potomski, both teams started to bang the side of the boards over on their benches, letting their players know that they like the action that they had out at center ice. But I think what Trevor Sen has done is sent a message to the bigger Storm team that the Thunderbirds are not going to back down. Sen, one of the toughest players in the league. Take a look at Christmas Sorley on the bench of the Toledo Storm. Both players have been sent to the showers. Interesting play there. We'll see how that works out later in the series. But I think Trevor Sen is not going to let the T-Birds get pushed around here, and now someone is throwing something onto the ice. They're going to have to stop play to take care of that. I'm not sure what that is on the ice, but here's some of the action down low. Potomski gets in with a couple of right hands. He goes for the uppercut, really didn't land anything. Got it in on his chest against Sen. Sen trying to come back with the lefts and the rights. May have landed something on the shoulder. Then looks for the takedown, and a Storm, I'm not sure what fan it is, but the red colors with the red helmet, I think it's a Storm fan being escorted out here, and they threw the octopus, squid, the octopus down on the ice. That is something that they like to do in Detroit.
Yeah, they do it in Toledo also. And it is a very, very tough situation now for Toledo. They're down by 2 goals with just about 1 minute left. And the crowd, deafening noise here. As play resumes, here's Campbell behind his own cage. Now a pass left wing as Duncan can't get around Tisdale. And it's picked up by Uniac, so we're down to 47 seconds left. Thunderbirds leading 5-3. Roberts, as he casually lifts it back out of his zone. And play is stopped. So that goal by Joel Blaine, his first of the playoffs.
Well, Joel, I'll tell you what, these players, it is really getting hot and heavy down here right now. Justin Lafayette, the albatross of the Thunderbirds, talking it over with Ian Duncan, the captain of the Storm. Ian Duncan exchanging words with Justin Lafayette. Player assistant coach Tim Tisdale, an assistant captain, comes over, tells Justin, let's settle down. 44 seconds to go. Let's not lose our cool. And Ian Duncan,
Beasley is headed off the ice.
Beasley's going to head off now, and the crowd really getting into it. This is going to be a long, long physical series from the looks of things here in game number 1.
Well, lots of hard, clean checks throughout tonight's game, and It looked like Toledo getting a bit frustrated at the end and says, in effect, hey, there's always game 2. And we will have that right here Sunday night at the Wheeling Civic Center. Game time at 6 o'clock p.m.
Lots of good seats available still for that Easter Sunday game, Joel. So some Storm fans, if they want to make the trek down on Easter Sunday. And of course, plenty of tickets out there for T-Birds fans. So everybody come down to the Civic Center Thunderdome. The only place you're going to be able to see that game is right here. So you have to get down to the Thunderdome. Should be a great game. And want to remind all of the Thunderbird fans out there, big pep rally tomorrow here at the Civic Center. You can come into practice at 10:30, watch a free skate. And then they will have a pep rally out in front of the Thunderdome. So a lot going on here tomorrow on Saturday here on the first weekend of the championship series.
All right, play back in. We're down to 33 seconds left, and once again offside called against the Storm. And a little shove there by Alex Hicks on Marty Uchuk as they exchange pleasantries.
And one other reminder for everybody out there watching on WTOV9 and TV5, game number 3, Wednesday in Toledo. You can catch that right here on the Ohio Valley Sports Station, WTOV9. We'll have all the action from Toledo. Game number 3.
Shots on goal, 30 for Wheeling and 26 for Toledo. Face-off just outside the Wheeling line. It goes all the way down the ice inside the Toledo zone. 25 seconds left. It's whacked down by Duncan, and Uniac is back for it. A 5-3 Wheeling lead. As the Thunderbirds getting late goals by Schwartz and Blaine. Now Duncan to center. We're down to 8 seconds left. Now Duncan flips in. Will it place it? 5. The crowd counting it down, and that should about do it. 1, and it's over. The Wheeling Thunderbirds win Game 1 of this Best of 7 Riley Cup Final Series.
You just got here, Paul.
Go out with Warren, baited to like some sort of aphrodisiac festival. It's still her choice.
Have to do it. Threaten to fire her.
We have to talk.
Make her choose between getting well and getting out.
Weather information 24 hours a day. This is the NBC. Highlights put to music. We'll also take a look at the highlights from the Riley Cup Finals, plus Ask the Coach and Chris McSorley. Coming up next on the Storm Report.
The Storm Report, sponsored by Team Chiropractic, official chiropractor of the Toledo Storm. Ranch Steak and Seafood, you'll never go hungry at Ranch. Shortway Travel, official transportation of the Storm. And Arnie's at Westgate, Toledo's only sports theater.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Storm Report. I'm Jeff Gibbons, along with Chris McSorley. Well, on the show this afternoon, we put together a music video of some of the best plays and thrilling moments from this year as the Storm close in on a Riley Cup. Also today, we'll check out the highlights from the Cup Finals as the Storm and the T-Birds take the series to the wire. We'll also hear a few of your questions in this week's Ask the Coach, plus the coach hungry for wins, Chris McSorley. But first today, let's take you back to games 2, 3, and 4 as the Storm look to rebound from a shaky start. Easter Sunday marked the second game of the Riley Cup Finals as the Storm were looking for a split in the Thunderdome. But just over a minute into the first, it looked like a bad case of deja vu, as for the second straight game, Devin Edgerton scored the first goal of the contest. Unlike Game 1, Toledo couldn't answer, as Edgerton and Tom Dion scored next, sending the Storm into the locker room down 3-0 after 1. The second period would prove to be a more even affair. However, Wheeling would score twice more, with the second coming on a turnover, resulting in an Edgerton shorthanded tally, his third of the night, and a 5-0 hole. In the third, Toledo began to mount a comeback as Dave Flanagan worked the power play and poked it home past Rod Hauk, cutting the Wheeling margin to 4. Less than 3 minutes later, the Chief matched Flanagan with his third of the series, making the score 6-3 with nearly 14 minutes to play. But from that point on, Houck and the T-Bird defense would tighten up as Wheeling held on for a 7-3 win and took a 2-0 lead in the series. Game 3 was a must-win situation for the Storm as they trailed in the best-of-7 series 2-0. Like the first 2 games of the series, the T-Birds broke on top first as Joel Blaine beat Scott King for the 1-0 lead. But Toledo would counter with 2 of their own, both on the power play, as Rick Corvo sent one in from the point, which beat Frank Willett. And then it was the Chief, which gave the Storm their first lead of the game, 2-1. In the second, the play was controlled by Wheeling as they pelted Scott King with 14 shots, and one by Devin Edgerton found the twine, tying the score and leaving the Storm patrons a little uneasy. However, the Storm went back on the power play with time running out in the second when Barry Potomski poked home the rebound for the 3rd power play goal of the night, and most importantly, a lead heading into the 3rd. The final period would once again begin with a Thunderbird score, this time while shorthanded, as Darren Schwartz off an Edgerton shot tied it up at 3. But the Storm would respond less than a minute later when Alex Hicks scored the go-ahead goal and the 4th straight on the power play. The story of the game, though, was the penalty killing and goaltending, as the T-Birds were 0 for 10 with the extra man, and Scott King made 31 big saves as Toledo held on for a 4-3 win. Game 4 opened with a bang for Toledo as Dan Weeb forced a turnover and scored just 12 seconds into the game, giving the Storm the quick lead. Toledo kept their offense clicking as Big Al Roberts found the net for the first time in the playoffs and a 2-zip lead. The second would begin with the Storm up by 1 when the rookie combo of Ricky Corvo and Alex Hicks lit the lamp on the power play, which gave the Storm their first 3-goal margin of the series. However, Wheeling would stay close as Justin Lafayette scored just 2 minutes later, cutting the Toledo margin to 2. But that's when Toledo's special teams would kick in as Wade Bartley fed Bruce McDonald for the shorthanded tally and a 5-2 mark. The T-Birds would strike for one more before the second came to a close as Dean Antos beat Scott King, which made the score 5-3 Storm. The third would start with another T-Bird tally as Marty Uchuk stayed with the play to bring Wheeling within 1. But that would be as close as the T-Birds would get as Jeff Jablonski scored 3 minutes later, putting the lead back at 2. Then midway through the third, Rick Judson would score the capper as Toledo held on for a 7-5 win and tied the series at 2 games apiece. Now it's time to see who stood on their head in this week's Play of the Week. This week's Play of the Week came in Game 3 on Wednesday. With the Storm hanging on to a 1-goal lead and the pressure deep in the Toledo zone, Ryan Kuwabara worked free and unleashed a blast with just 11 seconds to play. But he couldn't beat Scott King, who came through with a huge save, squeezing it between his pads and holding on to preserve the Storm's first win of the series. Scott King's big save is our Play of the Week. Still to come, we'll take a look back to last night as the Storm headed back to Wheeling for Game 5. But first, it's the Mighty McSorley when we return.
Car buyers are scoring with a Hatfield hat trick. Great deals on Oldsmobiles. Great deals on Ohio-made Hondas. And here's another Hatfield hat trick. Get a 93 88 Royale for only $18,995, or a 93 Cutlass Supreme for only $15,995, or a brand new 4-door Sierra for $13,995 at Hatfield Oldsmobile on Reynolds Road, south of Southwick.
If your group is considering going on a trip, call Shortway Charters at 476-3000. Our coaches are ready to take your group anywhere, anytime. Shortway is the official carrier of the Toledo Storm. If you need a ride or a package delivered, call the Black and White Cab Company at 478-8300. At Black and White Cab, our business is picking up.
Black and White Cab, only choice at the Toledo Storm.
Instead of sitting at home with nothing to eat, trying to watch something that you just don't enjoy, why not go to Arnie's? At Arnie's, you can enjoy your favorite event on one of the multiple large-screen TVs. Arnie's also serves delicious munchies, burgers, and oversized sandwiches until 1 a.m. And Arnie's bar is completely stocked with your favorite refreshing beverage. Whether for lunch, dinner, or whenever, join your friends at Arnie's Eating and Drinking Saloon, located at Westgate near the Ponderosa.
Team chiropractic. It keeps us on the ice.
No matter what sport you play, the doctors of Team Chiropractic will keep you in the game. With 5 area locations to serve you, the doctors of Team Chiropractic will help you enjoy a healthier lifestyle.
Team chiropractic. It gives us the winning edge.
Keep the winning edge in all you do with Team Chiropractic.
Welcome back, and Coach, welcome.
Thanks again, Jeff.
Hey, Chris, one of the best weeks perhaps in franchise history. You come back, you win 3 straight. Tonight, a chance to clinch in the sports arena for the Riley Cup.
Well, it's, let's just say it won't be the best in franchise history until we take care of some unfinished business tonight. It's nice to be sitting right now, with a 1-game edge, but Wheeling is a fine opponent, and I'm sure they're going to come out tonight and really give us a real run for this game tonight. And all I can ask is our 5,000 faithful, try to do what they do best and keep them off their game and keep us in ours.
Talking a bit about games 3 and 4, you shift back to the smaller ice surface in Toledo, which really plays into your game. You take a little bit of the punch out of Darren Schwartz and Devin Edgerton. They don't get as many points, and you take them off their game, and Wheeling you shut down.
Well, it's important to keep their speed contained, and great credit has to go to like the Jablonski, the McDonald, Judson, even Mark Deasley for the fact of how well they've been able to check their top line. Last night they did yeoman's work against them. They wanted to match up against them. That's fine, because we have some very responsible guys defensively.
You talked about a couple of fellas right there, Bruce McDonald and Rick Judson. Special teams incredible in games 3 and 4. You shut down Wheeling 1 for 17 on the power play, and you score 7 power play goals, including all of your goals in game 3.
Well, I've always tried to explain that special teams usually are the story in playoffs. You must have good special team units because, referees are going to call the game a little tighter than they normally do in regular season, and it's very important for every aspect of the game to be covered. And a lot of times the guys don't get all the great credit, and sometimes the guys you don't see in the play of the week and the Storm Report during the course of the season are usually some of the guys that really step up to be unsung playoff heroes, and that's the way it's proven right now to be, as I said, the guys we previously mentioned.
Well, can you put your finger on one particular area that this team has turned around on here? The first couple of games, really out of their element, not looking like the Storm of old, but here in the last 3 now, they've come back to full circle, playing like they can. Was there one area that was key in the turnaround?
Well, I honestly don't really think we've played that well up until about the 3rd period of last night. I really don't believe the first 4 games that we put in a solid 60-minute consistent effort. I believe we played well sporadically, and in games 3 and 4 just played well enough to win. We didn't go in there last night. We haven't used the same intelligence, the same discipline as far as staying out of the penalty box we used, to get us this far. And, if we come out tonight and play like we finished off in the 3rd period last night, keeping a guy high and making sure we, kill any attack they have getting into our zone, letting our offense run the way they're able to run, and I think we're going to be okay.
You also need to credit the Wheeling T-Bird Club. They are a very good club, and they have come back every time Toledo thinks they get a little cushion, a little margin there. They come back, they claw back, they make it close. They're a club you can't let up on at all.
Well, they said it wouldn't be any fun if it was too easy. They're a team that's really, kept after us, and you could see the heads hang pretty low in the dressing room and around our office. After we lost our 2nd game, to go down 2-0, but we have some great teams that believe, great players in this team that believe that we could come back, and knowing that getting back on our home ice and getting our 5,000 people behind us, that we could probably counter what they got ahead of us.
Something we haven't touched on either is the courageous comeback of Alex Roberts. He comes back in game 3, or rather in game 2 in Wheeling, after getting pins put in his hand, breaking it in game 3 against Erie. Really, Al made a choice when his hand was broken. He wanted to come back and contribute, and he's done that.
Well, we had young Joe Cook in town, and Joe's a tremendous player. You're going to see a guy like Joe do great things in the future, hopefully for the Storm, or maybe even a higher level. But you have to go with the guys that got us this far, and Joe stepped aside to allow himself, or Alex Roberts and Dave Flanagan, to jump back in the lineup. As gritty as Alex Roberts is and has shown all year, you still have to give great credit to Rick Corriveau and Dave Flanagan for coming back prematurely from injury as well. So all 3 of those guys really have been the hat trick of grit.
Everybody's contributed, and that's so important when it comes to the finals.
Now it's time to find out what you had to say in this week's Ask the Coach.
This is to Coach McSorley. If you guys win the whole tournament, what does it mean to the Storm as a team, financially, emotionally, career-wise, and to the whole Storm organization?
Well, Sheila, I don't believe I'm going to go on record to say I'm going to go to Disneyland because I can't, the papers have saying I am, but no, it's just something that's it's a long journey to get to a championship, and I've never been there. I've been there right to the stage twice, but yet to have a chance to step on it with going to the finals twice in IHL championships. But I've never won a championship yet in pro hockey, and I don't know the feeling yet. But let's just say I'm still 60 minutes of hard work and a solid effort tonight away from that feeling yet.
One game.
Yes.
One game. Just around the corner, it's a video montage of some of the greatest moments and exciting times from this year of Storm hockey. But up next, we'll replay all the action from last night's Game 5 as the Storm rolls on.
Instead of sitting at home with nothing to eat, trying to watch something that you just don't enjoy, why not go to Arnie's? At Arnie's, you can enjoy your favorite event on one of the multiple large-screen TVs. Arnie's also serves delicious munchies, burgers, and oversized sandwiches until 1 a.m. And Arnie's bar is completely stocked with your favorite refreshing beverage. Whether for lunch, dinner, or whenever, join your friends at Arnie's Eating and Drinking Saloon, located at Westgate near the Ponderosa.
Where can you find sports apparel from your favorite pro team? At J&D Sports in Point Place. J&D Sports is a family-owned and operated shop that specializes in top-quality jackets, parkas, and hats. They also stock hard-to-find authentic jerseys, and if you don't see it, chances are they can order it for you. They also have a wide selection of sports cards. And remember, you can get 15% off the Beckett price on single cards every day. J&D Sports is located on Summit Street near 116th in Point Place. Visit the friendly people at J&D Sports.
Team chiropractic. It keeps us on the ice.
No matter what sport you play, the doctors of Team Chiropractic will keep you in the game. With 5 area locations to serve you, the doctors of Team Chiropractic will help you enjoy a healthier lifestyle.
Team chiropractic. It gives us the winning edge.
Keep the winning edge in all you do with Team Chiropractic. Car buyers are scoring with a Hatfield hat trick. Great deals on Oldsmobiles. Great deals on Ohio-made Hondas. And here's another Hatfield hat trick. Buy a Honda Civic for under $9,000 or lease one for as low as $179 a month. And check out the all-new Fun to Drive Del Sol. At Hatfield Honda, Reynolds Road, south of Southwick.
Well, the Storm traveled to the Thunderdome last night in an attempt to find a way to win on the road and possibly take their first lead in the best-of-7 series. Last night, the series shifted back to Wheeling for Game 5 as both clubs were in a must-win situation. From the opening faceoff, it was obvious the Storm were not going to let the game get away early. However, as has been the case in every game from the Thunderdome, Wheeling would score first as Darren Schwartz cashed in on the feed from Edgerton and Tisdale for the 1-0 lead. That's how the second would start until the 6:50 mark when Dan Weeb redirected an Ian Duncan shot to tie the score at 1. After a Tim Tisdale shorthanded tally made it 2-1 Wheeling, the Storm would go on the power play with 22 seconds left in the period. And that's when Dunk and the Diesel went to work as they worked the give and go down the ice with Beasley, netting the power play score to swing the momentum and tie the score at 2. The third period would prove to be tense from the get-go as neither team scored through the first 8 minutes. But then at the 8:46 mark, it was time to hail to the Chief as Pohalski took the Dave Flanagan pass and drilled it past Francis Willett for the go-ahead goal. From that point on, it was good defense and great goaltending as Scott King finished the night with 36 saves. With time running out on the T-Birds, Rick Judson found the empty net, clinching Game 5 4-2 as the Storm took their first lead in the series 3-2.
Definitely an outstanding game last night, Chris. Perhaps one of the best I can remember from this season. A solid game all the way around. Everyone played disciplined hockey, and you came out with a win.
Well, you could definitely feel between periods of knots in everyone's stomachs, knowing just that we have to win in Wheeling. I mean, they have the home ice advantage. We must get out of the blocks to get a game there, and whether it was game one or two or game 4, game 5, or whatever we're going to be playing there in Wheeling, we know we have to jump in and grab one. And mission accomplished last night. We grabbed the game, and now we're back tonight. And as I say, I hate to say something, but let's just get through the show tonight and let's get our minds going and get ready for tonight.
You can't go any further without touching on the incredible play from Scott King. Here's a guy that stood through the entire season, gone through some ups and downs personally, came through here in the playoffs, played outstanding these last 3 games. He, along with special teams, is the reason Toledo's here today.
Well, I've always tried to explain as well that you must have solid goaltending. Usually the team with the best goaltender, the most outstanding player on the ice, usually is your goaltender for a team that's on their way to victory. Scott King has been a primary reason why we are where we are right now, and he's got a lot of confidence. He handles the puck well, and he's really been a real good emotional support for our players back there behind the blue line. And great credit has to go to Scotty, along with our defensive core.
Last night's game was perhaps the most disciplined we've seen Toledo plays. We start to see the pendulum swing a bit as Wheeling began to take some dumb penalties last night. What do you see as the shift?
Well, I just think that we've been able to keep our sticks down, keep moving our feet and finishing our checks. And nobody really wants to see dirty hockey. And I thought we played the first 3-4 games a little too dirty. And last night we got back on track. We stayed out of the box and took the body to them. And I think Wheeling knows that Toledo's going to come after them with the 200 pound plus bodies and keep things going well. And we continue that tonight in the small confines of sports arena. And hopefully we punish them pretty well physically in the first period and try to beat them up on the scoreboard a little bit after that.
How much did that opening 5-minute major and game misconduct assist Trevor Sen last night? Just under 2 minutes into the game, as he high-stick Rick Corval. How much did that set the tempo?
Well, I mean, we go after their players physically, but we don't go after them in a dirty fashion. And I think what Trevor Sen did last night, he was trying to set the tone, but that tone was way off key. I mean, he going after Rick Corval. I mean, Rick's a tough kid. I mean, you're not going to intimidate Rick, and he got a stick up too high and got penalized for it. But it's not a case we scored in the first 5 minutes. What we did the first 5 is we had momentum the first 5 minutes, which kind of kept us going into the first period and got into the first period with a tie, and look what happened.
Tonight's game 6. Is it going to be hard to keep the guys focused, having that cup just right around the corner coming into tonight?
I think they can smell the hunt right now. They know that victory's theirs if they want it. They know that they do have the ability to play well at the sports arena. They do know we can score goals on these 2 goalies. And if we come out tonight and we get a couple pucks behind their goalie early in the game, I think we can get the momentum going.
Wheeling's a great club. You can't look past them at all. Doug Sauter, a very good coach too, probably has something pulled up his sleeve for tonight's game.
Well, we'll make sure that we find out early what Doug's up to. And I don't think when you come into game 6, if a coach really does have too many tricks left, you can't really coach the players right now. All you can do really, at this stage, this late in the year, is just open the door and hopefully give them a little encouragement. But the players right now are kind of self-coached. If you have to start realigning your team this late in the series, this late in the season, then your team really wasn't that prepared going in.
How big a night is this for you personally?
I don't know yet. It could be a bad night for me personally. I'm confident, but you have a coach. The players can smell confidence in the coach. As I can tell if the team's going to be on or not. And I'm confident we're going to win tonight, but I'm also confident our team's going to come ready to play tonight and come focused and know the job at hand. And personally, it's going to be a big night, but it's going to be a big night personally, win or lose. Trust me.
It's going to be a lot of fun out of the sports arena. Just a couple, we'll glance ahead at the remaining Riley Cup final schedule. But first, it's the Storm music video when the report continues.
Team chiropractic. It keeps us on the ice.
No matter what sport you play, the doctors of Team Chiropractic will keep you in the game. With 5 area locations to serve you, the doctors of Team Chiropractic will help you enjoy a healthier lifestyle.
Team chiropractic. It gives us the winning edge.
Keep the winning edge in all you do with Team Chiropractic.
People working together. Over 100 groups in Northwest Ohio have adopted a highway. And this weekend, more than 70 of them battled the cold and the wind to join Toledo 11 in an area-wide cleanup. To all those who volunteered, like Corey here, you have made a difference. Thank you.
Hey, Ranch Runner, where are you going in such a hurry?
Ranch steak and seafood.
You know, you're never rushed here. You're always made to feel welcome.
The kids love it here.
The steak.
All this month, enjoy a USDA ranch sirloin steak dinner for just $5.99. Your steak will be charbroiled to perfection and served with a steamy hot baked potato. Plus, enjoy our all-you-can-eat ranch buffet and sundae bar. Unbelievable value, just $5.99.
Come on, grab the family and hurry to the ranch, where all you need is a big appetite and a little bit of money.
East River Gym, conveniently located just outside the downtown area, offers you the quality and expertise you need in Olympic weight training and more. An atmosphere of friendly people all together in the pursuit of one common goal, a better body for better health. East River Gym on the Uppercut to Fitness presents the value you've been waiting for. 1 full year for only $200, a very rare opportunity. East River Gym, always on the cutting edge to fitness, located on 4th and Main Street.
Well, the Storm teamed up with WTOL videographer Mike Thompson this week and put together a Storm music video filled with some of the biggest thrills from this season as we look back at the year that was, 92-93, the run for the Cup.
With a shot and a score!
The house is a rockin', don't bother knocking. Yeah, the house is a rockin', don't bother knocking. Yeah, the house is a rockin', don't bother, come on in. Kick off your shoes, not losing the blues. This old house ain't got nothing to lose. Sing it all for years, stop spreading the news. We got a room on the floor, come on baby, shake some blues. Yeah, the house is a rockin', don't bother knocking. Yeah, the house is a rockin', don't bother knocking. Yeah, the house is a rockin', don't bother, come on in.
Alex 6, only choice, the Toledo Storm.
You and Hicksy have something to square, I think.
I got something to square with him. The sides of his head. We're all set, though.
A great finish to this season as they approach the Cup tonight, and just to look back really brings back some great memories.
Yeah, it has been tremendous for me, and this is my this is gonna be my last show of the season. You know, after I go back home down to Tennessee on Wednesday, and And really, as much fun as we've had in the show, Jeff, I've got to extend some thanks to some great people out there that really made this a great season. And I don't mean to take long here, but there's some things have to go mentioned. Got to thank Dr. Steve Boost and Charlie Johnson for the great job they've done with the guys and keeping them back in shape and keeping them on the ice. And Team Dennis John Frankel, keeping everybody smiling pretty. Dr. Mickey Frame, Team Chiropractic, the only choice of the Toledo Storm, obviously, Mickey. Got to thank Debbie at Kenwood for keeping our nomads in places to stay and putting up with their patients and keeping these guys asleep. Rick Salem, Rick City Diner, for keeping these guys, the homeless, all well fed. Got to thank Danny Johnson. Danny, thank you very much for the courtesy vehicle you've allowed me to have all season. It's tremendous. And special thanks has to go to Terry Gallagher with Riverview Inn. What he's offered me, myself, and a place to stay and made things feel at home. Got to go to the Zell family, Consol Tavern, giving our guys a chance to spend their days and play a little pool and have a little team meeting. Got to thank Arnie's Saloon. Special thanks has to go to the office staff, Barry Sosk and Tim Mauser, the chief, and everyone else involved with the Storm. And thank you all, and I hope to see you next year, hopefully with a Briley Cup and a nice ring to go with it.
Absolutely, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, once again, don't forget tonight's game and then the Storm Report sale next Saturday. We'll see you next week. And next week's the Storm Report season finale. So long.
Of the Storm.
Honey, could you look up the number to Affordable Chiropractic Clinic? Mother's friend Betty is a patient there, and she says she is getting excellent results.
Affordable Chiropractic Clinics. Treatment which requires no out-of-pocket expense with qualifying insurance. The quality care you deserve. Call the location nearest you.
The PGA Championship coming to Toledo in August.
And they stick behind their team. Many here who have logged time watching the Hornets and the Gold Diggers are now weathering the Storm.
It's a whole new generation of fans. I've been out here in the Ted Garvin days, and it's a great scene out here. It's the only way to go.
Yeah, I was a Gold Diggers fan when I was these guys' age. It's a game of heart, and that's exciting.
And according to those in the know, like 40-year veteran ticket taker Bob Burkle, the Storm blows away its predecessors.
Storms are more popular than any of them right now. Is
that right?
Yep, that's it.
Some say the capacity crowds here are due to the low ticket price and the fact that, unlike some other sports, women enjoy it just as much as men.
I like all the hitting and checking, and the crowd really gets into the games.
Season ticket holder. And I got my son and my husband into it.
What do you think?
That's fine.
And, of course, every good Storm fan finds a creative way to deal with bad calls by the referees.
We just got tired of them making funny calls, and my wife, the oddest, decided to drive.
I just think they made some unfair calls.
All in a day's work for a Storm fan, and even with only 2 seasons under their belt, they seem just as seasoned as anybody on the ice. Greg Lindemolder, Toledo 11 News.
Way to go, Storm. Well, there may be a...
I'm not exactly sure what the exact amount is, but we're really happy about it.
Thank you, Tino. Just ahead in sports, the Tigers and the Indians both played this afternoon, and the Storm's cup runneth over as they claim the ECHL championship.
I think moving to Swan Creek...
Steve Steiger says he played softball and won. We had a very successful arthritis telethon, and you did a great job on that.
Thanks.
And then there was the hockey team.
Yeah.
That had a tremendous weekend.
Kind of put the perfect ending to a great weekend, huh?
You're right.
Yeah, it was pretty special down at the sports arena last night, Dan. Dan? Did I call you Dan? Don. I know who
you want me to write it down for you?
Hi, everybody. For the first time in nearly a decade, Toledo hockey fans are celebrating a championship. Last night's overtime victory pushed the Storm past Wheeling in the Riley Cup Finals 4-2. The visiting Thunderbirds nearly put a damper on the Sunday night party, trying to fight back from the brink of elimination. They scored the first 2 goals of the game and quieted the crowd of 5,316 fans. But it was the Storm that battled back. Late in the first period, Jeff Jablonski scores on the power play, his 3rd of the postseason, and that sets the stage for Toledo's big second period. Ian Duncan, who struggled early in this series, shows his MVP form with a pair of markers less than 4 minutes apart. This one knots the score. Moments later, he put the Storm out in front. Toledo then breaks away from a 3-all tie. Greg Pahalski with his 12th of the playoffs. Then Derek Booth fires home his 7th. Wheeling answered, and so the third period opened with the Storm holding a slim 1-goal advantage. Midway through the third, Rick Judson, the pride of Bedford High School, pokes home a rebound, notching his biggest goal of the season. Once again, Toledo enjoying a 2-goal cushion. But late in the game, the T-Birds score, then catch Derek Booth playing with an illegal stick, creating a 5-on-3 advantage. 43 seconds later, Devin Edgerton beats Scott King, sending the game into overtime and setting the stage for Mark Deasley's historic goal in double overtime.
All that happened is I just went to the front of the net where I usually stand, and the puck, I think there was a 2-on-2 in the corner, and the puck came out in front of the net, and I just shot it right along the ice, and I think it went right through the goalie's legs, and thank God it did.
At that point, what had been a totally unpredictable night became very predictable. Confetti and crepe paper showered the ice, hugs, and yes, even kisses exchanged by some of the players. And finally, many in the crowd poured onto the ice to join in the celebration. And Rick Judson of Temperance, Michigan, was presented the Most Valuable Player Award.
Just winning the cup, first of all, is the biggest, thrill of my life. And the MVP is just the biggest bonus of my life, being from this area, winning the cup, for the first time since the Diggers in a while. I was here last time they won it. And winning the cup today is just the greatest feeling.
And then, what all the fans had been waiting for, the presentation of the Riley Cup. Last year, a great Toledo team was ousted in the opening round of the playoffs, but that disappointment now a distant memory. Scott King, who shut out the T-Birds in overtime, ends his playing career on top.
There's a lot of pressure there. We didn't want to go back to Wheeling for the 7th game, give them momentum, and I just...
You know something? My dad won the Turner Cup here. Now I won the Riley Cup here, so it feels great. Woohoo! Sweet Ginger Brown! As a player, I wouldn't know. I've been here twice and got a couple sniffs at it, but big difference between getting a sniff at it and getting a chance to really enjoy it. God bless Toledo, and I'll see you guys next year if I ever dry out.
Just a footnote to the season, I want to pass along a word of thanks to NWO videographer John Potter for a great night of shooting, and special thanks to Dennis Robideau, who shot a lot of the video, which we showed you throughout the year. Well, the Storm will be honored with a noontime victory parade tomorrow in downtown Toledo. The parade will begin at Monroe and Summit, turn left onto Jackson, and end at the Government Center. There, Mayor John McHugh will present a proclamation to the newly crowned Riley Cup champs.
Titles in 82 and 83. What makes this so special is the Storm didn't even exist 2 years ago. Toledo had been without hockey through the late 80s until getting an ECHL franchise. 2 overtimes, a game that started at 7:30, wouldn't be over till midnight. And when it ended, look what happened. The fans responded. They crashed the stage below, celebrating with the Storm players. The Riley Cup passed around from player to player. There was champagne. Lots of champagne. A tough series was over. Toledo is champion last night. Packed house, 5,300 plus, standing room only. It looked like victory was near when Rick Judson scored this goal, giving the homeboys a 6-4 lead, 10 minutes remaining. But the T-Birds rallied back on a power play with 3 minutes left. Edgerton beat Scott King, and the game was tied 6-all. Well, it stayed that way through a whole 20 minutes of sudden death. At the start of the second overtime, Mark Deasley's backhand brought down the house. 7-6, the final.
We're exhausted, but it's worth it. It's the greatest feeling I've ever had in my life. was thinking today, you know, I was around when the Gold Diggers last won the cup, and came to the rink today. You know, the whole team was focused. You know, with the tension in the locker room before the game was just unbelievable. We knew we had a great shot at. I'm just so happy to be, you know, win the title and MVP for our city. A couple of anxious moments right before we scored the goal in the second overtime. I lost sight of the puck, and you know that's destiny, I guess. We were just meant to win, and just been a great year.
Did you even see the winning goal at all?
Yeah, I did, but then I was too busy. Scott, I think my trainer and I were necking on the bench. So here, wait 1 second.
It's like a shock.
Toledo. Thanks to everybody. This is what it's all about.
It was exciting last night at the Sports Arena for the Riley Cup Championship. It was like a couple of heavyweight boxers slugging it out for 15 rounds, and they said, hey, go a couple more. Score was tied 6-6. We're going to a second overtime, and Coach Chris McSorley was getting a little nervous, wondering if they could end this thing or would they have to go back to Wheeling. Well, Mark Deasley gets it done 40 seconds into the double overtime. The Storm wins 7-6. They are the Riley Cup champions. There's Coach McSorley at the bench. The place just went wild for several minutes as the fans and the players all celebrate the Riley Cup title, the first professional hockey title in Toledo in 10 years. There's Jeff Jablonski and all the others. Now, where was Coach McSorley? Well, there he is. And right now, we're going to go to him. Where is he now? Well, he joins us in the news center. Congratulations to you, Chris. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Phil. It's just say it's our cup, Toledo. The 5,000 faithful that showed up every game, and staff and management that made it possible, and the 17 players that threw their hearts on the ice every night. This is Toledo's cup, and hopefully all you guys can come down to the Consol Tavern tonight and enjoy it with us, guys.
Is that where you're going to be? Huh?
That's where we haven't left yet.
That's what I've heard. What does this mean to you as a coach?
I don't know. It's more of a sense of relief right now, just to have a chance to get it done and to quit having my owner beg on my ear, but where's my ring? But this is your ring, Barry. Now I can say for the next month, where's my ring?
All right, we've got yes, that's right. We've got one of your players standing by right now, a man who really helped make this possible. As we go down to the east side to their favorite watering hole, Ian Duncan, congratulations to you.
How you doing?
What's it mean to you? You've won for Bowling Green a championship. Now you've won for Toledo a championship.
Oh, you know, it's just great to bring a championship to Toledo. I helped bring one to Bowling Green, but this is more satisfying because it's a professional championship, and got a great bunch of guys here, and it's just a great year.
And what do you say to Coach McSorley?
What do I say to him?
Mm-hmm.
Easy. Bring that cup back, because I've had it all day, and I'm going to babysit it all night, too.
It's nice to see you in a dry shirt.
I know.
Chris, congratulations to you. There'll be a parade tomorrow. We look forward to seeing you there and celebrating for another day before you head off to Nashville to do what?
I just heading off to Nashville for the summer, trying to get a little R&R in, so trying to enjoy what we've accomplished, Bill.
Congratulations. You've been a great season. Really enjoyed following you.
Thank you.
All right. Coach Chris McSorley live in our newsroom tonight with the hardware. All right. The team will be honored tomorrow with a noontime parade. It will start at the corner of Monroe and Summit, head up to Jackson Street over to the Government Center at 12:15, where the mayor will proclaim the day as Toledo Storm Day tomorrow. Now for the latest on Joe Montana. He says he won't play for the 49ers. He wants to honor his new contract with Kansas City. At this moment, the 49ers are holding a news conference. They're trying to work out some sort of a trade with Kansas City. Baseball now. The Tigers tried to extend their win streak to 6, but came up a couple of runs short. They had some problems in the field. Ooh, you don't see Sweet Lou make a mistake like this too often. Actually, the big blows were from Ken Griffey Jr., 2 home runs, and then in the 9th inning with the rain coming down, it's a big blast by Pete O'Brien, a 3-run home run. As we show you the scores from baseball today, there you see it, Seattle beating Detroit.
The Wade High School marching band leading the parade down Summit Street. That trophy's been in a lot of hands since the Storm beat Wheeling Sunday night. Fans able to reach out and touch their favorite Storm players. The mayor of Toledo, John McHugh, came bearing gifts for Chris McSorley today, a proclamation that this was Storm Day in Toledo. And the coach was given a goblet from the city. It was a day to reflect on a championship.
City of Toledo really helped us out. The fans, you're the greatest fans I've ever seen in my life. And hopefully bring it back next year, and here's to Toledo.
As a player now coming back as a coach, it truly is, without a doubt, a dream come true. And this isn't just isn't our cup, Toledo. it's Toledo's cup.
To have it done this fast is truly remarkable, and I'm happy. I'm happy for Toledo, too. This is great for everybody.
Best owner right here in the league, in the world, any league.
I'll pay you later, Rick. Thanks.
Barry has to pay off his friends. Anyway, NHL scores. It's Pittsburgh over New Jersey 7-0. Islanders win 4-3 in overtime. Buffalo 4-0 over Boston, and Quebec 4, Montreal 1. Last night we showed you a peanut vendor at a ball game wasn't watching hit by a fly ball. Nobody's safe anymore, even if you're outside the ballpark. This was a college baseball game. Nebraska's Jed Dalton drives one back, smashing a car window. Imagine some college kid trying to explain to his mom and dad what happened there.
Gee, I was just driving by the ballpark and yeah, right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Everyone likes a story with a hero.
We'll have 2 for you.
So it's awesome. Great for the city of Toledo, and it's great. You know, all the fan support we had all year, and especially in the playoffs, and all the people, you can just tell by all the people out here right now.
After last year, I was really happy. Great success, 46 wins. I didn't think it could be beaten after an expansion year. I was wrong. This is great. Just a great sense of relief, and was the initial sense of relief, and now it's truly a sense of gratification, and just appreciating everything that's happened this year.
All right, the Red Wings host Toronto in Game 2 of their series tomorrow night. Tonight, Pittsburgh made it 13 straight postseason wins, beating New Jersey. Here's a goaltender's nightmare. Watch this. Mario Lemieux coming in on you all alone. You know what's going to happen, don't you? Lemieux scores. Pittsburgh looks very good right now. They clobber the Devils tonight 7-0. The series probably will end in 4 straight games. Let's check the NHL scoreboard. Pittsburgh leads at best of 7 now, 2-0. The Islanders and Washington about to start their second overtime. Caps lead that series 1-0. The Sabres take a 2-0 lead in that series against Boston, and Quebec also leads their series with Montreal 2-0.
Carried out as Toledo comes to 3-on-2. Duncan, Roberts, and Hicks. Duncan back to Roberts now. Duncan out on top. Beasley scores! The Storm win the Riley Cup! The Storm win the Riley Cup! It's over!
The Storm Report, sponsored by Team Chiropractic, official chiropractor of the Toledo Storm. Ranch Steak and Seafood, you'll never go hungry at Ranch. Shortway Travel, official transportation of the Storm. And Arnie's at Westgate, Toledo's only sports theater.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Storm Report season finale. I'm Jeff Gibbons. Well, needless to say, it's been a whirlwind of a week as the Storm clinched their first ever Riley Cup with a 7-6 overtime win against Wheeling last Sunday. We'll have highlights of that as well as the festivities that followed on the ice and in the locker room. Also this afternoon, we'll have some very special live studio guests, including the man to my right and the man who brought hockey back to Toledo, Oni Barry Soskin, as well as the Chief, Greg Puhalski, and the playoff MVP, Rick Judson. We'll also take a final look back at some of the special moments of the Storm season as culminated with their first ever Riley Cup. But first, let's take another look at last Sunday's Game 6, better known as just the game.
Last Sunday, it was Game 6 from the Sports Arena as the Storm were looking to win their 4th straight for their first Riley Cup. However, in the opening period, it was apparent that the Wheeling Thunderbirds weren't going to fade into the sunset as Joel Blaine and Devin Edgerton each scored in the first 14 minutes for a 2-0 lead. Toledo would push their first score past Francis Willett at the 16-minute mark when Jeff Jablonski, off the great feed from Bruce McDonald, cut the T-Bird margin to 1. In the second, the Storm would explode for 2, with both coming from Ian Duncan, who hung Willett out to dry twice as the captain broke out of a slump and gave Toledo their first lead of the night. After a Tim Roberts tally tied it at 3, the Chief stepped up and made Willett pay the price, giving the Storm another 1-goal margin. Next up, it was Derek Booth who took the Rick Judson feed and notched his first goal of the finals as the Storm inched ahead by 2. Toledo began the third with a Rick Judson power play goal, giving the Storm the 6-4 lead. But that's when it got a little scary as Darren Schwartz scored at the 11:28 mark of the period to make it a 6-5 game. And then with less than 4 minutes to play, the T-Birds on the attack. Wheeling coach Doug Sauter called for a measurement of Booth's stick. After careful examination, the stick was illegal, and the T-Birds had a 5-on-3 power play. That's when Darren Schwartz made good for the tying goal and the one that forced overtime. In the first overtime session, it was excellent goaltending by Scott King and Willette, who kept the two teams scoreless through the first extra session. Then 40 seconds into the second overtime, Al Roberts would play it out of the corner in front of the net, where Mark Deasley made the shot of his life for the winning score as the Storm clinched the series 4-2 and won their first ever Riley Cup with the 7-6 double overtime win.
Now let's take a look at this week's Play of the Week, or perhaps more fittingly, the Play of the Year.
There was only one logical choice for this week's Play of the Week. It came in the second overtime of Game 6 against the T-Birds when Mark the Diesel Deasley picked up the pass in front of the Wheeling net and scored the goal of his life and the goal of the season. Not only was it a great play, but it secured the Riley Cup and Mark Deasley's place in Toledo hockey history. Deasley's heart-stopping goal is our Play of the Week.
Still to come, it's the Chief, but first it's the Chief of the Toledo Storm, Barry Soskin, when we come back.
Team chiropractic. It keeps us on the ice.
No matter what sport you play, the doctors of Team Chiropractic will keep you in the game. With 5 area locations to serve you, the doctors of Team Chiropractic will help you enjoy a healthier lifestyle.
Team chiropractic. It gives us the winning edge.
Keep the winning edge in all you do with Team Chiropractic.
Hey, Ranch Runner, where are you going in such a hurry?
Ranch steak and seafood.
You know you never rushed here. You're always made to feel welcome.
The kids love it here.
The steak.
All this month, enjoy a USDA Ranch sirloin steak dinner for just $5.99. Your steak will be char-broiled to perfection and served with a steamy hot baked potato. Plus, enjoy our all-you-can-eat ranch buffet and sundae bar. Unbelievable value, just $5.99.
Come on, grab the family and hurry to the ranch, where all you need is a big appetite and a little bit of money.
Instead of sitting at home with no...
Done electronically.
Will be made by the New England Patriots.
Stocked with your favorite.
And it's traveling down to the goal line, and we're underway. The Patriots now, if you're just joining us for the first time here, each first-round pick, the team has 15 minutes to make a selection. And since they've waited this long, what's the rush? Why not wait 15 minutes? But it doesn't.
Another Hatfield hat trick.
The Patriots select Drew Bledsoe, quarterback.
Two years ago, the Storm first appeared in Toledo, thanks in part to the efforts of one man in particular, Mr. Barry Soskin. Barry, can you believe that after only 2 seasons you have a ring in your first Riley Cup?
No, it's really hard, Jeff. After last year, winning the Brabham, tying a league record, 46 wins, but I didn't think we'd get the cup after the second year.
What does this win mean for the Toledo Storm organization? A team that came in last year, were underdogs coming into their first season, yet won the Brabham Cup. This year they come back, they prove they can do it again, but they take it further.
Well, I think it means that we've got the right people in the important positions, and Chris has done a great job of assembling talent with a little bit of help from the Detroit Red Wings organization, and our coaching staff here put it together.
A lot of work went into putting this team together that started back in training camp, and I know you had a large part in that, along with Chris and Tim Mauser, assembling the team that would take you this far. And there were a lot of trades and moves made during the season that were tough at the time, but looking back now, the right moves.
A lot of the talent that was place throughout the league was actually in our training camp at the beginning of this season. So we had a very, it's like at the beginning of the year we were talking about it, we could have filled the 2 teams. I don't know if we could have won 2 cups, but could have filled the 2 teams.
What does this championship mean, where does it rank rather, in the lifetime achievements of Barry Soskin?
Pretty high up there. This is quite an accomplishment for not only myself, but our organization and the whole Toledo Storm. The town of Toledo, the fan support, the business, this means something for everybody. This cup is a little bit of everybody's.
You couldn't ask more as far as support goes from the city and from the fans there at the end of the season in the playoffs, packing the sports arena, and that really makes a difference when it comes down to home ice advantage.
I certainly think it helped us being down 2-0 at Wheeling. It certainly, you know, we got some confidence back on that Wednesday game, and I don't think anybody looked back after that one win.
Chris McSorley did a heck of a job this year, recruiting the talent, bringing them into camp, and then getting them through the playoffs. What's your thoughts on the coach's performance, and what's his status for next season?
I hope to have Chris back next season. I'm happy with the talent that he assembled for last year's club and for this past season's club. And I feel no reason why he can't do the same next year and the years to come.
Did you ever have any doubts about this club throughout this season and perhaps how far it would go, making it all the way to the finals?
Well, you always have your doubts. I was certainly optimistic throughout the whole year. We were a strong, dominant team. But every team in our league was pretty strong this year, with only 2 teams being under 500. We were playing with Dayton the whole year, 1-2, with a matter of 2, 3, 4 points until the last week of the season.
Well, Barry, it's been a pleasure all season, and once again, congratulations.
Bet, Jeff.
Just around the corner, we'll chat with the playoff MVP, Rick Judson, live and in the studio. But up next, we'll hail to the Chief. Stick around.
Car buyers are scoring with a Hatfield hat trick. Great deals on Oldsmobiles. Great deals on Ohio-made Hondas. And here's another Hatfield hat trick. Buy a Honda.
Jim Plunkett in 71, Terry Bradshaw, 1970. Pretty good company for Drew Bledsoe. Seattle is now on the clock. If Bledsoe was there, their card goes right up. Now all of a sudden with Meyer there, not the local product, they may take the full 15 minutes. While they think about it, why don't we think about Drew Bledsoe? Joe had a chance to spend some time with him as Bledsoe looks at his...
Original interior, original carpet.
Sports is located on Summit Street near 116th and Point Place. Visit the friendly people at J&D Sports.
Team chiropractic. It keeps us on the ice.
No matter what sport you play, the doctors of Team Chiropractic will keep you in the game. With 5 area locations to serve you, the doctors of Team Chiropractic will help you enjoy a healthier lifestyle.
Team chiropractic. It gives us the winning edge.
Keep the winning edge in all you do with Team Chiropractic.
Instead of sitting at home with nothing to eat, trying to watch something that you just don't enjoy, why not go to...
Will help his mechanics when faced with making any throws. Bledsoe also possesses great pocket presence. While pressure is collapsing his protection, Drew is able to keep his concentration and find the receiver, a trait some current NFL quarterbacks do not possess. The other trait I love about him is his fiery attitude. Its importance cannot be overlooked.
Well, first and foremost, a quarterback has to be the leader. You know, he has to be the guy that...
One of the hottest Storm players in the finals was player assistant coach Greg Pahalski, who against the T-Birds netted 6 goals and 5 assists. Chief, congratulations.
Thanks, Jeff. I'd just like to thank all the people here and all the people in Toledo this year for coming out to watch us. On speaking on behalf of the guys, they really appreciate it, and we're glad we could bring home the cup.
Speaking of the cup and your performance, 11 points, including the game winner in Game 5. Reflecting back, what's your thoughts?
Well, Jeff, I'm one of the older guys, and I came back from elbow surgery late in the year, and it was kind of touch and go whether I'd be able to play or not. And I'm kind of feeling the ill effects of the of playing right now. My body's kind of worse for the wear and tear, but I made it through. And my job, basically, Jeff, is to score goals. And if I can do that, help the team win, then I'm doing my job.
What went through your mind when Mark Deasley scored that game winner in double overtime?
Well, just from talking with all the guys, it was first thought in your mind was shock. It was like panic. You didn't know really what to do, and then all of a sudden, I think it's just from watching so many celebrations in your lifetime, you just react, you just go crazy, and you want to hug everybody in sight. And basically, that's what we did on the ice with all the fans, and it was quite the scene out on the ice.
How does this accomplishment, this championship, rest for you in your list of things you've accomplished, of hockey teams, of championships?
Well, it's got to be right up there. I've won a few national championships back in Canada. I won a baseball championship, and I won a hockey championship, and a couple Ontario championships in hockey. But this ranks right up there. Right now, it's the best feeling in the world. I think the best feeling you have, though, Jeff, is when people tell you that are congratulating you. That's when it really sinks in, and you really think about what a good job you've done all year. And you're going to miss all the relationships you have with the players. You know, it's kind of like, geez, you miss going to the rink right now and seeing all the guys. But hopefully next season won't be too long, and it'll be around just when September rolls around.
With the season now over, having a chance to think ahead a little bit, what's in the Chiefs' immediate plans?
Well, Jeff, I'm just going to rest my sore little body here for a while and take it easy.
Paying the price.
Yeah, that's my favorite motto, paying the price. And I paid the price, Jeff. And I'm just going to take it easy for a while and come up next year, just do some recruiting like I did for Chris last year, and work with a little bit of office work. And when September rolls around, that's when we got to really kick into gear our team and hopefully get the right players like we did this year.
Well, Chief, once again, you can't argue with success, and this year definitely was the most. Congratulations.
Thanks, Jeff.
Well, this year's run for the Riley Cup included a perfect 8-0 record at home. And now let's take another look at some of the Storm's finer hospitality.
Makes my tell me when the boys get here. It's 7 o'clock and I wanna rock. I wanna get a belly full of beer. My old man's drunker than a barrel full of monkeys, and my old lady, she don't care. My sister looks cute in her braces and boots and a handful of grease in her hair. Don't give us none of your aggravation. Had it with the discipline. Saturday night's alright for a fight. Get a little action in. I get a bottle's oiled as a diesel train. Gonna set the dance alight. But Saturday night's the night I like. Saturday night's alright, alright, alright.
just a few minutes, we'll look back at some of the emotional moments from the run for the Rally Cup. But before that, it's the MVP as the Storm Report rolls on.
East River G.
Before I hit the field.
Got to prove it to a man who, in the past, has coached the way he likes to run before he passes.
Right.
Chris, let's go back to you.
All right, Adrian and Drew, congratulations. Certainly, what an exciting day for all these college seniors and juniors to be picked anywhere. Certainly, number one. Well, Seattle's decision, they've made theirs. Let's go up to the commissioner and find out what indeed they have done.
With the second choice in the draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Rick Meyer, quarterback, Notre Dame. The third choice.
Quarterback. You love this. The last time quarterbacks went 1-2 was 1971 when Plunkett to the Patriots, Archie Manning to New Orleans, Dan Pastorini to the Oilers went 1-2-3. So this is a rare year. Will Meyer make it in a hurry with Seattle?
I think he will, Chris.
To keep my thighs silky smooth, I use a pollen extract from Romanian royal bees. For skin surface sheen, I use low voltage electrotherapy. Painful.
Cab, our business is picking up.
Black and white cab, only choice at the Toledo Storm. Team chiropractic, it keeps us on the ice.
No matter what sport you play, the doctors of Team Chiropractic will keep you in the game. With 5 area locations to serve you, the doctors of Team Chiropractic will help you enjoy a healthier lifestyle.
Team chiropractic, it gives us the winning edge.
Keep the winning edge in all you do with Team Chiropractic.
Come on, Ricky. Well, it was an up-and-down season for Rick Judson, who for the first 17 games of the year was left searching for his first goal, but whose season was capped with a well-deserved Most Valuable Player award for his playoff performance. Rick, congratulations.
Thanks, Jeff.
Did you ever think you'd be sitting here talking about an MVP award back at the start of the season?
Definitely not. It wasn't a thing going through my head. The first thing was just get myself on track.
It's really been an up-and-down season for yourself. Started off very slow. You knew you had the talent to cash it in and light up that red lamp. The season progressed along. You found yourself. You found your way up to Adirondack a few times. The season in a whole really has got to be rewarding for yourself.
Oh, definitely. Just by winning the whole thing, the championship, if I had no other accomplishments than that, that'd just make the best season of my life.
What does the MVP award and the Riley Cup mean to Rick Judson?
Probably the greatest honor. The MVP is probably the greatest honor I've ever had. Considering all the 17 players on our team, it could have gone to any one of us. I mean, it's a whole team effort, and I was just lucky enough to be awarded that trophy.
Special teams, Rick, really were the difference in the finals against Wheeling, as you were one of the lead anchors of the special teams, the penalty killers, the power play unit. It seemed like everyone really started to gel come playoff time.
Yeah, we did. We knew the last few games going into the playoffs we'd have to get things together, work as a team, and we carried it off into the playoffs. The final series we actually didn't play probably our best hockey, but we did what it took to win.
What was the difference? Games 1 and 2 really were not good Storm performances, perhaps the worst of the playoffs, but from game 3 on, things started to turn around. What was the change?
I think going in, we were used to playing the first 2 games at home. When you start on the road the first 2 games, it was tough to play in Wheeling. They had, great fan support there, like, we also have here, and it was loud. And I think we maybe took the first couple of games for granted, and we came back to the sports arena with, like I said, the great fan support and the rink itself, the small rink compared to the larger ice, and things started going for us.
Having won an amateur championship, how does that compare to your first as a pro?
It doesn't. The first one as a pro is probably, and will be, the best I've ever had.
Not too many teams get a chance to win a championship at home, let alone in front of all your family and friends. That had to be a real special moment for you.
That was. I'm glad to my first championship as a pro was in front of hometown, and it's just the greatest feeling ever.
A lot of scouts at those last few playoff games looking at some of the Storm talent, including yourself. What is the immediate plans as far as hockey goes for Rick?
I have no idea. The first immediate plan is to stay off the ice as long as possible this summer. Enjoy the summer, and whatever happens will happen. And I'll just take it one step at a time.
Well, Rick, it's been a pleasure calling number 20 all season, and once again, congratulations.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Well, let's take one last look at the Toledo Storm's championship run in the finals and the celebration after.
Duncan back to Roberts now. Duncan out on top. Beasley scores! The Storm win the Riley Cup!
I'm a hard-working man. I wear a steel hard hat. I can ride rope, a hammer and paint, do things with my hands that most men can't. I can't get ahead no matter how hard I try. I'm getting really good at barely getting by. Got everything I own by the sweat of my brow. From my four-wheel drive to my cowboy boots, I owe it all to my blue-collar roots. Feel like I'm working overtime on a runaway train. I got to bust loose from this ball and chain. I'm a hard-working man. I got it all on the line for a piece of the promised land. And I'm burning my candle at both ends. About the only way to keep the fire going is to outrun the wind.
Johnson back out front. Duncan backhand score! Duncan again on the breakaway. Duncan top shelf score!
Come Friday night, I like to party hard. I carry on with the Cadillac cutie, spend my whole week's pay on some weekend beauty. Come Monday morning, I'm the first to arrive. I ain't nothing but business, y'all, from 9 to 5. I'm a hard-working man. I got it all on the line for a piece of the promised land. And I'm burning my candle at both ends. About the only way to keep the fire going is to outrun the wind. I can't wait to get up in the morning and do it all over again. Well, I'm a hard-living, hard-working man.
Just an outstanding season. And before we go, I have some special thanks to pass along the Storm Report crew. An outstanding year, producer Chris Lewinsky, Ron Matnick, Ron Toy, Jennifer Zunk, John Hampton, Bill Stewart, Iris Griffith-Jones, Kathy Spittler, Karis Rocky, Jim Ellis, Dwayne Gottschalk, and Felicia Edmonds, and there's a lot more. Thank you so much. Heidi Schlusselman, Brian Jeske, Sonny Sano, Charlie Munger, Kathy Cross, all with the Media Relations Department. Couldn't have done it without you guys. And from the Storm, Barry Soskin, Chris McSorley, and my barometer, Scotty Lurman. Thanks again, and we'll see you next year.
How are you doing?
Hey, fellas.
The Storm Report, sponsored by Team Chiropractic, official chiropractor of the Toledo Storm. Ranch Steak and Seafood. You'll never go hungry at Ranch. Shortway Travel, official transportation of the Storm. And Arnie's at Westgate, Toledo's only sports theater.
Ever consider
that I don't have any say in the videos that we play on the Headbangers Ball. Well, we got everybody together, we had a big meeting, and we all got to put a little bit of input, and you'll see on the Headbangers Ball editions that we're going to start playing some great videos. On tonight's show, we've got some amazing videos and some that I'm very happy we're playing. Included is a video from the Sex Pistols. Now, I think we should play a lot of the old punk rock on Headbangers Ball. Write to me, tell me what you think. We've got some amazing videos. You're going to see them on tonight's show. And right now, let's start it off with a classic one from Iron Maiden. This is a great Iron Maiden video. This is Number of the Beast.